Yeah, they say we are different. What's that common ground? One day everybody gon' lay in that ground. If death is certain, then how you living? And if heaven's real, tell me how you get it. I'ma bet it on my life, it ain't gon' be my works. So I bet it all on Christ. Boy, let me give you this work. Wait before the moment I croak. I already been in that hurt. I'm already dead, I'm living in reverse. The first to be last and the last to be first. Following Jesus don't mean that there won't be pain, but it does promise that none of it is in vain. And I'm not afraid of that persecution that came. I'm more afraid of the fame and people knowing my name. Kill it. Take me alive, take me alive, yeah. Take me alive.
I done woke up, slept on me, trying to eat with vultures. Y'all look frail, let me feed the culture. Can't get full of the lead and coke, huh? Still sober? Y'all OD, follow me. When the rain follow me, king. Yeah, I know the king, Martin Luther King. You ain't really on the throne, boy, you in a dream. Wake up, y'all don't want it. Down to the white, I better put Marlo on it. And let's soon Chico Hilo, homie. And if I'm scared, I guess I don't know it. Cause I'm still going still right where the heat at.
The heart beats just a little faster right now, doesn't it? As they stand alone right now. No cornermen. They're just ready to make the ring walk for the biggest fight. The heart beats just a little faster right now, doesn't it? As they stand alone right now. No cornermen. They're just ready to make the ring walk for the biggest fight that boxing can.
Keep your hands up, keep your chin tucked. It's the one and only Ghost with the shadow in the front. Hope you're having a blessed day. Hope my mic is fine. I'm going to jump straight into shit. Let me make sure. Okay, we good. Because yesterday when I started, it did not have anything. How's everyone doing? What's going on, Tycho? So, hey, before I get into everything, let me say this. I'm going to say this. The more I see things, I really think that Rolly and Pitbull fight is going to be the fight of the night, bro. I really think it's going to be the fight of the night, man. The more that I look at it, y'all saw the press conference, right? Rolly had the little Chihuahua chain, right? He had the little Chihuahua chain. And you know what was kind of weird? I'm going to tell you what was kind of weird. I don't know, like, I pay attention to what fighters say. I pay attention to what they say. So, like, if you said something yesterday, I'm going to be like, okay, well, that's what you said yesterday, right? You could change your mind or whatever. But I could have swore 8 days ago, Pitbull and Rolly had a press conference on over the Skype or whatever it is, or whatever you call it, right? And I don't know if it was Skype. I don't know if it was Skype, but it was around 8 days ago, right? 8 days ago. And they asked Pitbull, they asked him, hey, like, is Rolly getting you upset? Is Rolly getting you mad? He said no. When they asked him today, he looks annoyed today. You know what it is? You know what I think it is? Rolly rented that dog, and then Rolly got the chain with the Chihuahua and Pitbull as his face on the chains. I think that pissed Pitbull off, bro, because I think now he's thinking like, okay, bro, there's a difference between, you know, making little jokes here and there, but now you don't got a Chihuahua, you don't got a picture of me on your damn chain or whatever. And yo, Rolly knows how to get under people's skin, man. Rolly knows how to get under people's skin. And this is going to be the first time we're going to be seeing Rolly without Bullet. So I'm a little bit like, I want to see how he fights now. You know, I think Rolly's good for boxing. I've said this before. I think he's good for boxing, bro. Yeah. Hey, look, man. Hey, you know what I think it was too? Like I said, 8 days ago, when they asked him about Rolly, he was like, nah, I ain't mad. He's like, nah, I ain't mad. Like I've had other people that was like, you know, disrespectful before. You know, I'm not that mad at him. But now Rolly comes in with the damn chihuahua on the chain and everything. Now Pitbull's like, okay, now you starting to piss me off, bro. Now you starting to really piss me off, bro. And if you saw Pro Box yesterday, I don't know if you saw Pro Box yesterday, but on Pro Box yesterday, once again, let me go back, Let me change that. Go back over here. Let me add it in. Let me show you real quick. I know I got the clip. The Iceman. What was his name? The Axeman or the Iceman or what's his name? Walters. The Axeman Walters. He came back and fought Adorno yesterday. It was all right, but you could tell that I don't know. I think it was a lot closer than what the judges had it, man. I don't know. I think that fight last night was a lot closer than what the judges had it. They had Waters beating him every round, almost every round. And then you know, like in the end of the fight where they try to take the highlights, the kind of like if the guy won, right? They try to show you the highlights of that guy. Every highlight they took of Walters, it like Adorno was piecing him up. He was piecing them up. I don't know, man. But I can tell you this right now. I'm excited for this weekend, man. I didn't realize there was that many title fights on the line. We got good matchups. We got I feel like Rolly's carrying this pay-per-view on his back. Rolly is carrying this pay-per-view on his back. And yesterday, if you were watching yesterday, right before the main event, I think it was right before the main event, they went and showed what Tim Bradley was saying about Canelo. Now, once again, man, I don't know what the issue with Tim Bradley is in Canelo. Look, it's very apparent. It's very apparent that Tim Bradley don't like Canelo, bro. It's very apparent, bro. Like, it's not even that I disagree with what he's saying. It's not that I disagree with what he's saying. I agree with like 80% of the stuff that Tim Bradley is saying. The reason why it's hate, in my opinion, because Tim Bradley and Paulie Malignaggi they're constantly taking shots at Canelo, bro. They're constantly taking shots at Canelo. It's got nothing really to do with David, bro. In my opinion, it's got nothing to do with David. If you go back, Paulie last year, he was talking about Canelo. Tim has always stated that, you know, he recognizes him as the face of boxing, but he doesn't put him up there with other Mexican greats and stuff like that. I just feel like him, Andre Ward, I feel like that whole group never gives Canelo the props that I feel like he's earned, bro. You know what I mean? I think it's kind of sad, bro. Let me go back to the clip that I clipped yesterday, and I could show it to you right now. Let me go back and fix it real quick. Let me get this out the way. Put this here. Okay. Right here. I don't know if you've seen this yesterday, but let me play it real quick. Hold up. What? Hold up. What? Hey, yo, HOD, I need you to come on here, bro. Because in about 10 minutes, if you can, bro, in about 10 minutes, I got to go change my laundry, bro. And I don't want to just be like, I don't want to leave and there'll be nothing here. Because people are going to slowly come in, bro. You know what I mean? And, man, I'm running back crazy, bro. Something's wrong with my memory, man. I don't know if I need to go to the doctor or something like that, man. One of my friends calls me a jitterbug, and she's absolutely right, man. Look, I came back today. I put the clothes in the damn washing machine. I ran to the damn grocery store. I went to go pick up 5 things, and out of the 5 things, I forgot 3. Damn, bro. I'm horrible, man. and I don't do drugs or drink. You imagine me if I was high? I mean, every once in a while I take an edible. Let me put this in real quick. Let me find this real quick. Let me find this real quick. Why wasn't this uploaded? Okay, it's no problem. It's no problem. I'll just upload it right now. Give it about 20 seconds. Give it 20 seconds. I think it's here. I think we have it. Hold on. Hold on. Let me make sure that it came in correctly before I do anything. It's processing. Give it 1 second before. Let me get the link out. Get the link out. Let me get this out the way. Okay, that's been dropped. Okay, this should be okay now.
Subject once again.
Perfect. We got it. We got everything all hit now. Oh no. It's good. No, that's my point, HOD. My point is, bro, every time this dude mentions Canelo, bro, it's never look, even when he tries to give Canelo props, he can't. You know what it reminds me of? Like, you know, when you was a kid and you did something wrong, or there's somebody that you don't like, and your parents are like, apologize. And you're like, no. They're like, apologize now. And you're like, sorry. Like, you don't even want to apologize. Like, even when this dude tries to give Canelo props, he can't do it, bro. He can't do it. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's Andre Ward. I don't know if it's because of Canelo. I mean, because of Crawford. I don't know what it is. Him and Paulie. Now, the stuff that they're saying, I can agree with it. But they're using it as an opportunity to do what they've been doing for the past 2 years. That's the problem that I have with it. This isn't like they're coming out of nowhere and they're like, this is a rightful judgment on Canelo. Y'all been talking about him like this even when he was doing his reign at 168. Ain't nothing changed. This shit is the same, bro. So yesterday, in between the main event, right? This is crazy. This is how you know, man. This is how you know. The whole boxing world is trying to put pressure on Canelo, bro. The whole boxing world is trying to put pressure on this man, bro. I think right now, as of right now, it is a collective effort by a whole bunch of people to try to shame Canelo to fight David, which, by the way, like I said, we shouldn't be begging the man. But I'm just saying, this shit is getting kind of hilarious now. They literally, before the main event, they literally were like, let us show you what Tim Bradley said about Canelo. I shit you not. Look. Oh, my goodness. I'm like, man, are y'all serious right now? Come on, man. Come on. All right, here it goes right here, right? This was before the main event is even, they haven't even mentioned the people, like they haven't even announced the fighters coming out of each side. We're just waiting for the main event to start. And the guy goes like this. He goes, meanwhile, here goes Timothy Bradley and what he had to say about Canelo. And he went just like this.
Subject once again for Tim Saul Canelo Alvarez.
His notoriety, keep on building his resume, because obviously Canelo's not willing to face him. But I want to just speak one more thing on Canelo, man. You know, I think Paulie had mentioned this, and it makes so much sense. And it was about the fact that, those guys back in the days, you got Chavez and guys, even you got my man Estrada right now. He's going to be facing Bam. It's something called Mexican pride. When you have someone calling your name, this is like growing up in the hood and somebody, new to the area, and tearing rides in the area. You supposed to be that guy, to hold it down. He's calling your name and you don't show up and you don't do anything about it. You know, when is Canelo going to answer that call? That's all I'm saying. When is he going to answer that call? Because it's his duty. Him being Hispanic, him being challenged by another Hispanic, he's supposed to answer that call no matter what. I don't care about the business. I don't care about anything else. If you have pride in yourself, if you believe in yourself, and you got another man doing the same thing you doing but calling your name, you got to stand up, man. When you going to stand up and actually take that fight and actually show the people, you know, what they need to see and show and prove that, hey, I am a bad mother mama. I am a bad mama jama.
You know,
Nothing new is under the sun when it comes to Tim Bradley, man, because I agree with some of the stuff that he's saying. I do. That's not the point, bro. That's really not the point. The point is he's using this as an opportunity to do what he's been doing for the past 2-3 years. It's a whole collective effort, bro. Even Mike Tyson. I mean, look, I think, bro, I think Canelo right now, I think Canelo's pissed off, man. I think he's like, man, I'm tired of these motherfuckers trying to tell me what to do and this and that. But you know what, though? We shouldn't have to be doing all this to get you to fight David, man. But I still think, even with all this going on, I still think most of the criticism that's coming from these guys isn't coming from an honest place. It's coming from hatred, or hate, or not necessarily hatred for the man, but hate because of just other things. I think a lot of people don't like the fact. This is being dead ass with you now. I think a lot of people don't like the fact that Canelo is in where he's at. You have a lot of people who feel like Canelo didn't really earn it, which doesn't make any sense to me because he followed Floyd's blueprint. If you're okay with Floyd, you should be okay with Canelo. That's what I don't understand. How can you be mad at him? I mean, it's not going to end, bro. It's never going to end. Let's not forget that Andre Ward sat up there 2 weeks ago, and Andre Ward was talking about Canelo had nothing but a European resume and all this other stuff, and the same shit that's on his resume, by the way. Like how can you criticize somebody when you got the same exact thing on your resume? Is what I'm saying. I don't know about this fight happening in September, but I'm gonna tell you this right now. If Canelo don't fight David by September, I feel a lot of people are gonna turn on him, bro. I feel like a lot of people that support him are gonna turn on him if he don't fight him in September. It's honestly what I feel. Because if you notice right now, it's wearing thin. The time limit that people want to see him fight David, it's wearing thin. Like when it first was like David is gonna fight Canelo, people are like, what did David do? Who's David? Look at his resume, this and that, right? As time goes on, people are slowly drifting to, hey man, when you gonna fight this dude? Come on, man, you gonna fight this kid? Are you gonna fight this kid? Like, that's what I feel like is happening right now. I feel like the tides are slowly shifting. And I'm never going to sit here and admit that this man is scared of somebody, but he's not showing any interest. But the one thing that I don't understand is, he's fighting Munguia. Do you understand? He's got it. He's already got a date. I don't get why people do that, though. I don't get why they do that. A dude got a date at this time, and he's fighting on this date against this guy. You act like he could just like pull out the fight and go fight. So he can't. So you already know that on Cinco de Mayo, he's fighting Munguia, bro. So you continuously attacking him doesn't do shit, in my opinion. If you do, I mean, what is your angle here? Y'all act like the Munguia fight was announced yesterday. It's been announced for weeks now, man. It is what it is, man. Let me see right here. Rolly, on the other hand, I like Rolly, man. I like Rolly. I actually feel bad. I feel bad because Pitbull is a family man, but at the end of the day, I think he's making this fight a lot better than what it's going to be. Pitbull is aggravated at this point. And hold on one second. You can't see me? What do you mean my cam is not working? I can see. What do you mean? My cam is not working. Y'all can't see me? Hold on. Y'all, you telling me right now you guys cannot see me? I'm literally looking at. You're looking at a black screen. Hey, HOD, can you see me, bro? Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I'm looking at myself on another screen because I'm looking at the comments. I think it's you, Tycho. Hey, HOD, are you able to click that link, bro? Yeah, it's probably that, bro. It's probably that. HOD, are you able to click that link, bro? You don't got to stay on. You don't got to stay on. I just need someone on the panel while I run downstairs. Talk about anything, bro. Talk about anything. You can talk about anything. I didn't feel like doing everything I had to do and then doing a live later, man. This is what I get for trying to be all busy back and forth. Hold on one second. Hold on.
Hello. Hey, Shadow Ghost, can you hear me? Second. Yo, can you hear me? Yo, can you hear me? You know what? I can't hear you. 1 second. 1 second.
Hold on. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. There you
Okay,
go.
hold on 1 second. Hold on. Hi there. Okay, hey, listen. Hey, give me a second. Hey, HOD. You gonna hit Oh man, no, she did. She's here to embarrass me. Hey, listen. The boxing historian. I gotta run. Go change my laundry, bro. Can you hold the panel down?
Yeah, I can.
Just talk about right now. We're talking about Canelo, and I just played the Tim Bradley thing. Tim Bradley was getting on Canelo once again, talking about just for context. I'll play it again when I come back up. But basically, it was like, you got another Hispanic calling another Hispanic out, this and that. When are you gonna take the fight? and him and Paulie once again, you know, which I agree with it, but I was just talking about how they've been doing this. But let me go get my laundry, and I'll be right back. This is Boxing Historian, everybody.
Hey, now, I mean, now I'm gonna say this, right? I'm not the guy. Listen. It's like this. I don't like Timothy Bradley. You know, honestly, I really don't like that bald-headed bitch. I don't. I mean, Paulie. I mean, I kind of like. You know, can't stand his voice. Honestly, I can't stand his chipmunk voice. But I agree with both of them on this. I agree with them on this standpoint. Now, I don't understand the Hispanic versus Hispanic narrative. I would say it's more of a Mexican versus a Mexican narrative because obviously, what you call it has fought other Hispanics. Speaking of Canelo, but one thing I do agree with, you know, one thing I do understand what they're trying to, you know, pretty much what they're trying to say is that this guy, whatever reason, when it comes to him fighting other Hispanics, i.e., other Mexicans, this guy's gun shy when it comes to the top dudes. When it comes to someone like David Benavidez, all right, it is what it is. When it comes to someone like David Benavidez, he has every excuse in the book not to fight that man. At one time, you know, this the same guy that said he would never fight another Mexican. Now he's talking about his home. No, mind you, he's talking about his homeland of Mexican. He's not talking about the American Mexican Americans or whatever. You can interpret it however the fuck you want to interpret. He said he wouldn't fight other Mexicans. Lo and behold, this fool, Canelo, coward Canelo, is fighting Jaime Munguia. Have no problem with them fighting Jaime Munguia. Not at all. I have no problem with them fighting that dude. It's just that why are you using this as a why did you use that as a backdrop a year or two ago to say that you don't fight other Mexicans? In other words, you won't fight you won't fight Benavidez, right? But now you went back on your whole word saying you're gonna fight Jaime Munguia. You talking about $150 million. Now you can look at it from this standpoint. Maybe Canelo's trying to leverage some real deal money for the Benavidez fight, right? He could be trying to leverage money, maybe with the Saudis or whoever else can, you know, and give, or I shouldn't say give, but whoever can meet the ends of the purses of both fighters, right? But I think at this point, you know, and Shadow goes as a return, right? I look at it as a very negative annotation on Canelo Alvarez's part. And I look at Timothy Bradley and Paulie Malignaggi. I may not agree with everything that they say, but their assessment on this situation is valid and it's warranted, you know, just based off this current landscape of what was going on in boxing and with Canelo Alvarez.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's what I basically was saying. I agree with everything that they're saying. The only issue is that it's a little bit different coming from Tim Bradley and Paulie, because even before all this was going on, they've been like, you know what I mean? I feel like they've been unfair and being critical in the past, but I agree with what they're saying now, man. And this is what I'm saying. I don't know if you see a shift. There's a whole shift in boxing in general. Like, I feel like collectively, there's a lot of people that were supporting Canelo before. It feels like everyone's collectively trying to force this man to fight David. And you know, I don't think we should be forcing anyone to fight anyone, you know, but I don't know if you've seen it, but like even people that were supporting him in the past, it's slowly the tides are changing. And if he doesn't fight him in September, man, I feel like a lot of people are going to turn on him. But I think what people fail to realize is Canelo's got like, what has he got? Like $200 million, bro. Like at some point, he don't care what people think, you know, and Like, people are gonna think like he's holding the belts hostage, but let's not forget that David's gonna be fighting at 175. He's gonna be an undercard on Tank, and keep that in mind. But still, nonetheless, he still has 4 belts that he needs to defend, and but he's fighting Jaime. It's not necessarily what he said that I disagree with. It's just Paulie and Timmy in the past, boxing historian. The way that they criticized him in the past, I feel like was unfair. But everything he's saying now, I feel like it's adequate, bro. I feel like it's warranted. What I will say is this, though. It's easy for us fans, right? The people that pay for pay-per-views, the people that's been watching boxing for years, it's easy for us to be like, hey, look, I want to see him fight David, bro. If Canelo don't fight him, he ducking, right? There's certain fighters, though. I feel like certain fighters that have a questionable past with their record and what they did in boxing, I feel like you shouldn't talk. I'm not talking about specifically Tim Bradley. I'm just making an example. Like, if your boxing career, if we can go back and point out 2 or 3 guys that people wanted to see you fight, and people think that you avoided them, or this, you see what I'm saying, or you didn't even unify or whatever. Like, I feel like who is you to try to shame somebody? And but I hope this shit gets Canelo to fight him, man. I hope it does. We already know how Tycho feels about Canelo. Like I said, let me ask you this, boxing historian. What do you feel about the fact that, so he already has a date. He's already fighting Jaime, right? So, and this is what I'm asking. We already know he's fighting somebody on Cinco de Mayo. So what would be the point? What would be the point of trying to keep hammering him about David when you know he's fighting somebody on Cinco de Mayo? Unless they're trying to piss him off so much that when he's done fighting Jaime, he's going to fight David. I feel like it's a collective effort at this point. We had Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson said something recently. We had Andre Ward. Andre Ward went on was it the Breakfast Club? I think it was the Breakfast Club. It was the Breakfast Club. And
yeah. Oh, my bad.
No, go ahead.
Well, no, I mean, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I mean, you can kind of see the shift turning a little bit, and rightfully so, because you know what, and you know what. Look, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna address what you said in the beginning of your recent statement, right?
Yeah.
I believe that. Look, it's like this. I believe that there is a shift turning. I think people are kind of tired of these whole ass boxers acting like a bunch of bitches, bro.
Yeah.
Putting it in layman's terms. I mean, I don't look. I'm gonna just say this. I'm tired of motherfuckers saying guys don't duck, guys ain't afraid. Well, you know what? If guys ain't afraid, if guys ain't ducking, why the fuck are they not fighting? You know what I'm saying? I don't want to hear that.
Who are we specifically? I think every situation.
I'm just speaking like you said throughout the whole landscape of boxing. I'm speaking just throughout the whole landscape of boxing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying every single individual.
Right.
I'm talking about.
You're speaking as a whole. As a whole,
in general, the vast majority of boxing and boxers. This is what's going on. And I think that. Even though there's some fanboys and that people have their favorites, I think people are kind of fed up across the board. And I think what's indicative of that is this Canelo Alvarez bullshit with David Benavidez. Now, once again, I will say this: he could be trying to leverage the most money he can ever make, $150 million for the fight. That's not an issue. But at the same time, it's just a look at the shit like. Oh, you got to give me $150 million to fight David Benavidez. You need 50 to 150 million. We obviously don't.
I think one of the biggest issues I had with what he said was that there was a contradiction. But there's a lot of people who, and I'm not saying I'm not going to say as a whole, but I've heard people think that this is all just to make the fight bigger than what it bigger. I don't know, but the issue that I had with Canelo with what he said was this. This is the issue. And David already said it. You say that the kid, brings nothing to the table than 25 pounds. I think he said he brings nothing but 25 more pounds on fight night, right? And then in the next sentence you say 150 million. That's what didn't make sense to me. But it's also at the same time, man. It's like it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to go at certain fighters because we could do this with a lot of people, and I know that's not the point. But the point is that I feel like if we're gonna treat one person one way, we should treat everybody fair, right down the middle.
Oh yeah,
right.
Oh
right
yeah, no,
down the middle. Let's not. If we're gonna pull no punches on Canelo, we should pull no punches on Crawford. We should pull no punches on Tank. We should pull no punches on anybody, Fury, anybody, not just because I understand heavy. What did Tycho say? Heavy is the crown.
Heavy is the head that wears the crown.
Right. I agree with that statement. Statement. But I also agree with that. I don't feel like at any time we should forget a person's accomplishments. That doesn't mean that we live in the past or whatever, because if we did that, I could simply stay on the fact that David lost his belt twice. I could say David lost his belt on the scale and he did coke and all this other stuff. You see what I'm saying? So it is what it is, He is. Almost got his ass whooped by Ngannou, but yeah, I hear what you're saying. You're absolutely right. Go ahead, brother. You fell off. Go ahead. Are you muted? Hold on. You should be good, brother. Can you talk? Can't unmute your guests because they chose to mute themselves. Oh, you got yourself muted, brother. Just to let you know. So while you figure that out, hold on 1 second. Okay. Look, anybody wants to come on and talk about, number one, a couple of things that we're talking about. If you don't know what I'm talking about, let me play it one last time. Yesterday, Pro Box was on. We saw Iceman what's his name? Walters or Waters? I always get his name mixed up, man. I get a lot of guys' names mixed up.
It's Nicholas Walters. Huh?
It's Nicholas Walters, which, by the way, I saw that fight, him and Adorno. It was one thing I am clearly getting aggravated in boxing is I'm getting aggravated with scorecards, bro. I'm getting aggravated because I don't understand how you could. I understand we could, like, you might favor inside work or you might favor counterpunch and another person might favor defense. I understand all that. But when you have scorecards that are all over the place, that pisses me off, man. That pisses me off. But before that fight started, before the fight even started, before they even say, Adorno and Waters is going to come out or whatever, they said they literally stopped the program to point out what Tim Bradley's going to say. I'm going to play it one last time because I played it when I started it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the link. If anybody wants to talk about this, and also the fights coming up this weekend, Rolly, Pitbull, Rolly had on the little chain with the Chihuahua, and Pitbull seems mad as hell, man. Rolly knows how to piss people off, bro. He knows how to piss people off for real. But this is what they did before the main event even started. They literally said, "This is what Tim Bradley thinks about Canelo," and I'll play it one last time, and then I'll drop the link.
Subject once again for Tszyu Canelo Alvarez.
His notoriety, keep on building his resume, because obviously Canelo's not willing to face him. But I want to just speak one more thing on Canelo, man. I think Paulie had mentioned this, and it makes so much sense. And it was about the fact that, those guys back in the days, you got Chavez and guys. Even you got my man Estrada right now. He's going to be facing Bam. You know, it's something called Mexican pride. You know, when you have someone calling your name, you know, this is like growing up in the hood and somebody, you know, new to the area, you know, and tearing rides in the area. You supposed to be that guy, you know, to hold it down. He's calling your name, and you don't show up and you don't do anything about it. You know, when is Canelo going to answer that call? That's all I'm saying. When is he going to answer that call? Because it's his duty. Him being Hispanic, him being challenged by another Hispanic, he's supposed to answer that call no matter what. I don't care about the business. I don't care about anything else. If you have pride in yourself, if you believe in yourself, and you got another man doing the same thing you doing but calling your name, you got to stand up, man. When you going to stand up and actually take that fight and actually show the people, you know, what they need to see and show and prove that, hey, I am a bad mama jama.
Frank Bay, hey,
Yo.
thanks for joining us, brother. Like I said, you are always welcome here. The Boxing Store, you're always
Uh-huh.
welcome here. Everybody's always welcome here. I dropped the link. Speak on it, Frank.
Oh, it's just interesting that this comes up because of not the last conversation, but the last conversation I did speak about what was going to happen with Spence, and now it's coming true. And then our previous conversation where it was a little touchy, but I said what it was, and Tim Bradley is saying what it is. That's why he's calling out the Mexican Hispanic thing. I told you that.
Yeah, for people that don't know what Frank is saying, 2 lives ago, me and Frank, it wasn't an argument. Frank made a comment and he could speak on it or whatever. But towards the end of the live, Frank brought up Mexican fighters. And he said that I don't want to put words in your mouth, but if I do, just interrupt me. I believe you said that they need Mexican fighters. I know you said specifically they need Canelo. And I don't know if it was the way that you said it, but I had said, hey, bro, I want to make it clear that I don't race bait. And I'm not saying that that's what you was doing. But I wanted to make it clear to people because in case of how it was coming out, it sounded a little weird to me, but I went back and I played it back on live and it sounded like you was talking okay. But I just wanted to make it clear, you know, that everyone is respected here. I don't do the race baiting thing, but go ahead and clarify what you were saying the other day.
Well, it just goes to what Tim Bradley is saying is he's bringing up the whole Hispanic Mexican thing because they know who carries the buying power in boxing. That's just 100%. It's not race baiting if I say, as far as demographics go, Mexicans are the biggest supporters of boxing. Mexican Americans, Mexicans, Latinos are, for the most part, the ones who are actually supporting the sport and buying the sport. That's why they need David on Stank Davis's undercard. And that's why they haven't thrown the fight right away. They were going to get 2 African Americans paid with the Charlos. They said it was Spence. And then the third fight could possibly be Benavidez, or maybe they'll marinate it a little bit more. Because now PBC has built up their own Mexican heir apparent. So why get him beat? What does PBC have if they go in and get David beat?
Well, you remember my counter to what you were saying. I don't disagree with the fact that Canelo and that the Mexican fan base is a loyal fan base. But if you remember what I said, well, look at somebody like David Benavidez who fought Caleb Plant and fought Bubu Andrade, and those pay-per-view numbers did horrible. They did horrible. And so what is that to say? Like, what, David's not a real Mexican, or they don't like David, or what? I mean, like, speak to that.
No, I believe David brings nothing to the table.
Well, this is what I'm saying. I understand what you're saying. When there is a good fighter out of Mexico, yes, the whole country will support him and some. You're absolutely right when it comes to that. But my whole point to what you were saying is that doesn't work with everybody, because look at David. David can't sell. David, he needs help selling. And you said it yourself that they're doing everything they can to make this fight. You said it yourself. They're doing everything they can to make this fight bigger, so that way when this fight does happen, it'll sell more because David doesn't sell.
David is building his name off Canelo's name. I mean, that's what everybody's doing. Because I was listening from the very beginning, why is pro boxing? Because they're kind of like a minor league of boxing right now, right? They do these kind of minor league fights. So, of course, they're going to attach their name to Canelo Alvarez. That's what I said, man. Look, I'm going to be unpopular today because I'm a support and defend Canelo Alvarez and the moves that he's making. Because
Absolutely.
what do you have if he's gone? If he I would go as far to say, if people want to talk conspiracy theories, I would say they're going to do their best to save Canelo Alvarez as long as they can, because everybody's going to keep getting paid. Why kill the gravy train? Because if he leaves tomorrow, what is there to talk about? Who are you going to talk about? Who are you going to sell? Your top fighters, Crawford, isn't going to get a fight. Now, looks like Errol Spence is going to swoop in on his party. So what is that guy going to do? You have a Nui, he's all in Japan. Who are the top fighters that can carry the mantle of boxing?
Yeah, I know. I hear what you're saying. And also, look, there's some people that think what you're saying is this. Like, look, Hawker thinks that pro boxing is doing this with Canelo's name because they know that that's going to give them views.
Facts upon facts, man. It's just, you can't get around the superstar. He's the Michael Jordan. He's the LeBron James. Every sport, he's Patrick Mahomes.
So let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, Frank. Let me ask you this because
he ain't nothing like that. He ain't nothing like that. He's
before you guys go, no, hold on. Before you go, I already knew a new boxing historian was going to say something. Hold on, before you say that, let me ask him this question, and then you could go back and forth. That's fine. I just have one question for you, Frank. What do you say? Yeah. Do you agree with people? So, like, you've been watching my channel. You're a big supporter. Like I said, you're always welcome here, bro. I love it when you're here because you just say what you feel. What do you say about people like Tycho, who always says what he feels? He's like, bro, that man's ducking that man, and we're tired of it. We're tired of it. So,
and again, this is unpopular. Go ahead, finish. Or go ahead.
There are some people that, okay, this was 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I clearly was like, man, David has not done anything. That was my stance 2 years ago. And then he did fight Caleb Plant, and he did fight Boo Boo Andre, regardless of how people might have put Boo Boo up on a higher pedestal than what he actually was. The fact of the matter, he fought the man. Now, I look at it like this. I want to see the fight, and as a fan that wants to see the fight, I don't like the whole, well, if it's true, I don't know how true it is or not, but the whole, his father's talking shit, so I'm not going to give him a shot. I don't, me personally, Frank, I don't like that, because as a fan, I just want to see the fights. But I've also kept that same energy and said to the David Benavidez, I said to the Benavidez camp, if you know what you're doing is making Canelo upset or even lowering your chances of getting that fight, why do you keep doing what you're doing? So I've gotten on both sides. You know what I mean? Because I just want to see the fight. I don't care what the fuck gotta happen for the fight to happen. I just want the fight to happen. But do you think people have a valid excuse for being mad at this point, bro?
No, they don't have a valid excuse. They don't. Because there was a guy I was arguing with. He was trying to tell me Canelo's a duck hater. I said, did you ever buy a Benavidez fight? Because I know I have. He said, no, he steals all the fights. So these guys, they don't support boxing. They're not going to buy the fight either way. They're not going to buy Munguia. They're not going to even buy the David fight. This is what I'm talking about. These people, they don't support boxing. I'm not saying you have to buy every fight, but you got to at least support the sport. I know I do. I buy the fights that I want. I'm going to buy Munguia fight. It's excellent. It's a great fight. If you're a boxing fan, how could you hate that fight? Unless you're just a Canelo hater. You're not a fan of Benavidez. You're not a fan of boxing. You're just a Canelo hater for whatever reason.
Yeah. Boxing historian, what was you going to say that you disagreed with him on?
I think when I said he's LeBron James, he's Patrick Mahomes, he said he's none of those guys. And my rebuttal is, well, he got the biggest sports contract in history. Well, when it first was announced with DAZN, that was the biggest fight in all of sports, the biggest contract, which he later got out of. But, I see people, why is he getting paid like that? Because Amazon wants to start a whole new platform with Prime. So they need the biggest name in the sport. That's why he's getting the money. he started the zone, right? They signed Canelo James to the biggest contract in sports history because they were starting a new platform, because they know who the fan base is. It's not hard to figure out.
Well, I mean, look, man, it's always, anytime Canelo is brought up here, bro, it's always 50-50, bro. I noticed that. It's either half of them are like, fuck that, I want to see the fight, he a duck, or the other half is like, he don't really got to do that because, you know, he the one keeping the sport alive. Like, it's always two different.
Okay, see,
it's always two vastly, you know.
People misconstrue saying, oh, they're going to say you're protecting him. No, I want to see the fight just like you. But I'm going to give an example, a parallel. It's business. It's okay to say it's business. It's like, so you heard what happened with Tszyu, the newest update that Errol Spence is going to be ringside.
Yeah.
Okay. That's business. Wasn't Tszyu, did they ask him and people were saying, oh, even Tszyu don't like that. He don't like what Canelo's doing. He need to fight everybody. And what does Tszyu's manager say? Hey, this is something a manager does. We're going to go after Errol Spence. If you were a manager, this is how you would move. Why? Because Errol Spence is more beatable and he's more proven as far as money, selling pay-per-views, and he's a bigger name. He's still a bigger name.
That is a good point. That is a good point, because if he beats Fundora, the number one person I want to see him fight is Crawford. That's who I want to see him fight. You know what I mean? And if he fights Spence, let's make this clear. No matter what fight is ever made, we're going to have fans that are not going to be satisfied. I think I've showed it to you, Frank. Remember, I showed you, it might not have been a lot, but I showed you some channels that literally believe that Canelo ducked Crawford. And I literally showed you multiple channels of people really saying that. They're not even trolling. They truly believe that. And so some people are never going to be satisfied, bro. But I think for the majority of fans, I am on the side of, I want to see a good fight, bro. Like, I've always been against Berlanga and Canelo, and people are like, well, why, Shadow? Why would you be? I'm against it because I don't feel like Berlanga has earned it, and I don't feel like it would be competitive. That's just my honest. They would only be doing that. They would only be doing that solely not because of anything that Berlanga has done. They would only make that fight because it would be a Puerto Rican and Mexican rivalry. That is the only reason why. And I don't agree with that. As a fan, I would rather see David versus Canelo versus Morel versus David. Like, you see what I'm saying? I wouldn't mind seeing, depending on how Munguia does, I wouldn't mind seeing Munguia and Berlanga, because to me that would be a little bit more exciting. You know what I mean? So, but Gio, you're saying that I actually saw somebody earlier today say that, what is going on with Tszyu and his belt situation? What's going on with the WBO belt situation? Hey, by the way, Boxing Historian, can you speak, bro? Like, are you still here, Boxing Historian? Okay, hey, yeah, I asked you real quick. I asked you, you could let him know what you felt about. Remember, he was comparing Canelo to LeBron James, and you said he's absolutely not. Go ahead.
I was just saying. I mean, you don't say Canelo like LeBron James for boxing. No, listen. Yeah, as far as when it comes to Mexican boxing, yeah, but he's not really polarizing like that worldwide. You know, like, for you to say some shit like that, you know, there ain't no fucking phases of boxing right now.
But that's just a hater take, because there's AJ. They command the most money. They're the most well known.
No, yeah, but they're not polarizing like that outside of their home country, dude.
But I'm talking about sports needing a superstar. I said, you know, like LeBron James, Michael Jordan. You know, there's always a face of the sport.
There's nothing remotely like that dealing with those two.
But that's what Canelo is. He's the face of the sport right now.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
If you look at boxing, trending,
to a certain demographic of people that watch boxing. Yeah, of course. But overall, no. I mean, you could say he's the cash cow. No shit. Like, come on, man.
Well, I mean, that's why he's getting the money he's getting. That's why the zone signed him to the largest sports contract in history.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what it means.
And how much did he really see of that?
Well, it doesn't matter. That's what it was.
Yeah, it does fucking matter. It does matter.
No, at the time, it was the largest sports. We're talking sports, every sport combined. I mean, he was the top paid athlete in every. You know, counting all the sports,
No,
he had the
not
largest contract ever
not
at
combined.
the time.
Not
No, no,
combined.
not combined. I'm saying if you take every sport and put him, Canelo Alvarez was the top athlete at the time with his contract. So to me, that tells me face of sports. Boxing is worldwide. Even the NBA, they have
Great
limits.
brother.
They have reaches. So Canelo Alvarez, AJ, after maybe Tyson Fury is underneath that, but you know, like AJ and Ngannou got 25 million, 50 apiece. So yeah, man, these guys get the numbers because they bring in the viewers. That's what it means. Right? When you think of boxing, we think of boxing as a dying sport. Well, what keeps it alive is all these people tuned in to Lanello, you know, Lanello Bay.
Well, I will say this. I will say this. The topic of certain when it comes to Canelo, man, I'll tell you, man, it's a topic that I feel like people are one way or the other, bro. And it always caused. You remember before Spence and Crawford, that fight alone caused so much division, and I don't know whether it was good for the. I don't know whether that whole thing that happened with Spence and Crawford. I don't know if all that was beneficial to boxing, because by the time the fight was made, bro, I don't know about you, I wasn't that excited. And the reason why I wasn't
That's
that
a good
excited,
point. Yeah.
I wasn't that excited, Frank, and this is why I'm bringing up Canelo and David. And Pacquiao and Pacquiao and hold on one second. Pacquiao and Floyd. So I don't think marinating a fight that long is beneficial to boxing, because first of all, when Floyd fought Manny, people were under the impression that Manny was past his prime or whatever. You can make the argument for Floyd too. It doesn't really
It's
matter.
not beneficial.
At the end of the day, I believe that fight should have happened 7 or 8 years prior. Okay, that's that. Spence and Crawford. That fight was drawn out so long. One man had a damn accident, right? Came back from that. He lived an accident that most people would have died, but he was never the same again. Let's just keep it a buck. He was never the same again. He never fought the same again. And before he fought Crawford, he had another injury and he had eye surgery. So I'm not making no excuses. I'm just saying that fight was drawn out, regardless whether it was promotional. You want to blame it on the promotional companies? You want to blame it on Bob? You want to blame it on Al? It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, that fight was so overdrawn. And by the time that fight happened, I was not as excited as I would have been if they would have made it a couple of years ago before Spence had that car crash. So when it comes to David and Canelo, and Frank, you know, and I know, and I've said this before, how many times have I said Canelo? And I spend a lot of time defending Canelo, because one of the reasons why I'm very open about it. I remember in the year 2021, I believe it was 2020, boxing was so stagnant and dry. I remember I was just so mad to be a boxing fan at that time. And that man carried boxing on his back, and when he went to 168 and did what he did. And also, I also look at some of the people that they try to shame Canelo with, and I look at their resumes, and I'm like, bro, it's kind of hard for you. You haven't even done anything. But at the same time, you know that Canelo is damned if he do, damned if he don't. And one of the things they're going to say, Frank, the more he waits to fight David, you already know right now that if he fights David right now and beats him, I've already said, you're going to have some people that's going to give the man respect, but you're going to have some people that's never going to give him respect. So let's get that clear. Some people are never going to respect the man. But the more he waits, people are going to say he's trying. People are saying it now, Frank. They're saying he's trying to, they know, what are they saying? They're trying to outweight more so he can't make weight. I don't know the word of it, but they're trying to say that he's trying to outweight David, so this way he'll have trouble making weight. You have other people saying, "Oh, he's trying to wait until David gets a loss or whatever." Right? I've always said that I feel like the longer he waits to fight David, the worse it is for him. The worse it is for him, because I feel like Canelo has had so many fights. And even though he's got great defense, that's a lot of fights. That's a lot of fight camps, right? And David's only getting better. So I'm like, fight now. These are the arguments I have. against this fight being dragged out so long. I understand what you're saying, Frank, but you do understand that when I say look at other people that are mad and upset, you're saying they have no ground or no right to be upset. And I'm saying, are you looking at it from my point of view? Like, bro, the Pacquiao and Spence, the Pacquiao and Floyd and the Spence and Crawford should have happened years before. And I feel like waiting was not beneficial to boxing.
Yeah, let me say something real quick, man.
Go ahead.
This shit, this marinating shit that these clown ass dudes have done. And I'm not saying, listen, I'm not going to say that Canelo was a part of that shit. All right. He's done some other shit, in the WBC and what, a lot of these Canelo tards, man, don't understand. And what they don't realize that Canelo has been gift wrapped at damn near everything to him. They created the fucking super in juniors and this retarded ass shit of the supers and fucking, regular belt and all this other. They created that in franchise. They created that for that dude, man. So people can definitely criticize this fool. All right. But I won't sit up here and say the marination aspect came from him, because I will give him this credit. He definitely was the most consistent as far as fighting. As far as his frequency of fighting, as far as his activity, he's fought more than anybody has fought in the last 8 years. A lot of these dudes just sit on their ass when they don't need to be doing that.
Another thing to that credit. Another thing to that. I'm gonna let you go just real quick. Another thing, I just had to add this in here. We were talking about this a couple of days ago. And another thing that people really forget is, as much as they do criticize, remember, I'm keeping it fair on both sides. I'm trying my best here. I don't like the over marination. I don't think it's good for boxing. But at the same time, let's not forget that if we count back 10, 12 fights, look at Canelo's resume and go look at anybody else's resume. You count backwards, boxing historian. He's fought like what? Like 10 champions, or if you take the last 12, 13 fights, champions. We're talking current champions. And the ones that he took off, the ones that people complain about the most, the Yildirim and the Ryder and all this other stuff, right? You take his tune-ups or whatever, his mandatories, his breaks, whatever you want to call those fights. You take that and compare it to some of these people that they're trying to shame him with. That guy is better than 80% of the people in that guy's record. So you got to keep it fair and balanced. At the end of the day, I just want to see the fight. So I just want to throw that in there, that, yeah, he kept it consistent. And I do not believe the whole narrative he cherry picked 168. That sounds ridiculous to me.
Yeah.
No, the accolades speak for themselves. Undisputed. He beat Triple G, who was #1 at the time. Pound for pound, beat the most champions. I mean, look, you can argue your arguments about, well, is this, and that, but the accomplishments are the accomplishments. It's the most in the sport. So I don't know how you could do that if all you were doing is cherry picking. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Well, nobody has the accomplishments in the sport that he has.
No. But the point is, though, the marination aspect of what he's trying to do with Benavidez that other guys have done with other fighters. Nobody wants to deal with that no more, man. Nobody's.
This is one time in his whole career. Floyd retired for 2 years.
He retired 4 times. He retired 4 times.
Either way you have it. I mean, you can only be judged by your contemporaries and your peers. And if we look at the landscape of the sport, nobody else has done what he's done. That's just period, plain blank.
Yeah, nobody.
Even Inouye, the best. I'll just finish the point, and you can go. Inouye, but he's not moving up. What name is around him that we could say that he needs to go fight? Like, he needs to do something special.
But you know what? He's already doing something special. The problem is that a lot of these fighters, especially at 147 and 160, have been overhyped for a very long time. So when you understand that, in the overhyping media hyping of certain guys, you're not going to get same recognition. Like, oh, who did Inouye fight? Or other guys who are actually doing something consistently. People say that, well, maybe they would be better if you actually promoted them more. Like, a lot of these dudes at 147 weren't shit to begin with, bro. Let's just put that out there.
But that again, it always leads back to that's just business. It's just business. Like, look, Crawford or Boots Ennis could make a legendary 3-fight trilogy. They could become legends. Boots Ennis could become a superstar, or Terrence Crawford, but the business won't allow it. I'm okay with that. Like, I don't have a problem with that. And Nui, who is he going to fight in the next 2 years? There's no names around him. There's just none. Better Biev and Bivol, yeah, we're finally getting that 2 years late. Better Biev is already like 40. So, shit, man, there's really not much. And then you got Usyk Fury, who's been called off. We've been waiting 2 years for that. AJ and Fury have never fought. So when people talk about Canelo Alvarez, it's like, what are you basing it on? Who are you comparing him to? Like, you have to have a standard. And that's what Shadow Ghost is saying. Like, trying to keep it fair and objective is trying to have some kind of standard, or who can you look to that's doing it better than he is.
And well, it's not only that too. It's always, man, I don't understand. Like, there's only certain fighters, bro. Only certain fighters where it's always vastly different. Like, for instance, I gotta respond to my guy. Me and Tycho always go back. This is my guy, bro. He knows that's my guy, but he sticks to how he feels, and I'm gonna stick to how I feel. You know, I gotta respond to you, Tycho. When you say who the fuck is Callum Smith, Billy, they were the champions at 168. See, Tycho, look, bro, this is the shit I'm talking about, man. People going around saying he cherry picked 160. They were the champions, bro. They were the undefeated champ. Listen, and what I say to that is, if they were nobodies, then why'd they wait until Canelo go up there and clean the shit out? I mean, if they were literally nobodies and these guys were so fucking easy, then anybody could have cleared that out at any time. That's what I don't get about that. I feel like that's unfair, bro. And not only that, but in boxing, you're supposed to fight champions and get belts, man. Like, so let me flip that over, Tycho, and let me ask you this. If he would have went to 168 and fought everybody but those guys, you know what they would have said? You know what they would have said? He's ducking champions. They would have said he's ducking all the champions at 168. He damned if he do, he damned if he don't.
Exactly. Here's the thing, man. And look, like, I'm not mad at Tank Davis fighting Frank Martin. I'm not mad. It's a good fight. It's a decent fight. But I'm not going to sit here and call him the greatest because he's fighting Frank Martin. You mean, if he wants to prove he's top pound for pound, he's that dude. We know who he needs to fight. He needs to fight Tszyu, Haney, or Shakur. Like, we know, but then that's just the business. Like, Tszyu and Haney are never going to fight. I doubt they're never going to fight. Like, I see that. If I'm defending Canelo, it's because I don't have a problem with Haney fighting Ryan. I don't have a problem with those fights. I get it. Like, I understand. So I'm just going to be like, okay, that's the way they're moving their career. But you can't make me say Haney's top 5 pound for pound. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to keep it the business of boxing and who I'm a fan of, who I'm not a fan of. But then I'm going to grade them differently when it comes to talking about who the best is.
And I'm actually going to be, see, this is going to sound messed up because this is actually, because what people are going to say is we'll keep the same energy. And I am, but it's different. When people compare Tank to Canelo, to me, there's a difference, bro. I am okay with Tank fighting Frank Martin because, in my opinion, it's just me. This is a man that openly came out in the past and said, I'm going to go have to change my clothes in a second, so you're going to have to hold it down, okay? But hold on. But before I go, this is a man that came out openly and said, I'll fight Loma in 5 years, okay? And Tank has made it clear that he fights specifically for one thing only. I've never heard Tank ever make it clear I'm fighting for legacy. Canelo has. There's a difference. Canelo comes out and says, I want to make history. You know, I want to do what no other Mexican has done. Tank doesn't say that. Tank clearly just wants to fight and get money. That's what I see. And so I'm not upset with Frank Martin because I also know that while Tank is under PBC, I don't know about this PBC now, because now this PBC has shown with their first pay-per-view that they're willing to step outside. They remember Keith Thurman and Tim Tszyu. Tim Tszyu's not with PBC. So they are willing to step out now. So maybe we will see these fights more. I don't know. But I am okay with Tank fighting Frank Martin because I feel like for what they have and for what their formula is, it's one of the best fights they can make over there. Shakur is at top rank. Devin is supposedly his own promoter. Tszyu is at top rank, even though they're at 140. Shakur's at 135. It's different over there. They are already saying that the winner of Rolly and Isaac Cruz is getting a rematch with Tank. They've already said they're already putting that out there. They've even put it out there on the press conference. They were just saying that today. They were saying the winner of Rolly and the winner of Pitbull Cruz will most likely get a rematch with Tank. Now, that's why I don't compare him to Canelo, because I can clear, at least from me, from what I see, Tank is very clear about what he wants to fight for. And let me go. I'll be right back down. Go ahead, Frank.
Oh, no doubt.
Hey, does anybody want to join real quick before I go change my clothes real quick? I'll give them 2 minutes before to hop on. Anyone can hop on. I'm not going to be gone that long, but to keep him company, or you could just keep talking while I go downstairs. Go ahead, brother.
Oh, no. And, as we talk about the names in boxing, man, you got to think of this as all chess pieces, man. Like if you follow boxing, you can kind of figure how things are going to play out. And that's why I said, hey, I don't remember the last time I was actually on. I said, hey, man, and D-Style was here. You guys were talking. I said, look, they're desperate to get Spence a belt. They need to get him a belt. That was always the plan. So that's why I figured they were trying to build up Fedor, because that was going to be his opponent. They could sell a Mexican to Spence moving up to 154, right? But now it looks like he's going to get the Tim Tszyu fight. But watch, it's not going to happen right away. You see what I'm saying?
Well, you have somebody else here on the panel while I go downstairs. You guys can talk. Oh, but I will say this. I do not agree with Spence fighting Tim Tszyu. I don't think that's a good idea for him. After taking the beating he took from Crawford, I just don't think that him fighting Tim Tszyu would go well for him. That's my opinion. I'll be back.
Well, let me say something, man, with that Errol Spence bullshit. So you duck the nigga just ducked the rematch with Terrence Crawford. Now he wants to fight Tim Tszyu, the same guy that Crawford is about to fight at 154. I mean, man,
that's just a business money move, man. It is what it is.
Spence is a bitch. Errol Spence is a bitch, bro.
It's a business money move. That makes the most sense for boxing.
He's a bitch.
Yeah, no, I understand that, but it's up to Tim Tszyu too. He doesn't have to fight Errol Spence, but it looks like that's going to be the bigger money for him in the long run. And
Errol Spence is a bitch.
Yeah, there's a better chance of Tim Tszyu losing to Terrence Crawford than there is to Spence. So if you're Tim Tszyu and his team, what are you looking at? You're like, I can get more money for an easier fight. That's exactly what I'm going to do. Is that a duck? I don't think it's a duck. Like, I know people are saying Tim Tszyu ducking Bud Crawford, but how is that if Bud Crawford is trying to get paid more? They've said he's a diva, that he negotiates. He wants $15, $20 million. He's pricing himself out. So Errol Spence swoops in. Can you blame Tim Tszyu? But that's boxing, man. If you're Tim Tszyu.
I mean, yeah, it's a business. I mean, it's prize fighting. I'm just saying the dude's not about to get what he wants to give, man. Tim Tszyu's most likely going to fight Terrence Crawford because that's a bigger money fight. Yeah.
No, Errol Spence is a bigger money fight. Errol Spence sold that fight. He had been on pay-per-view. He had done numbers. Terrence Crawford, every pay-per-view he did flopped. Errol Spence did way better. Not way better, but as far as now the market goes, he did, pretty good numbers when he was doing headlining pay-per-views. He did way better than Bud Crawford. I mean, before they fought, Bud Crawford did that Prime, Black Prime that sold like 5,000 pay-per-views. So he could never say he was the name. It was always Errol Spence. That's why he wanted the Errol Spence fight. That was the big money fight. And that's why it took so long to make. And that's why they had such hard time negotiating. People forget that. Like, who knows? Maybe David and Canelo are doing that. They're just going back and forth negotiating. It could take a year. It could take a year and a half, just like that took. I mean, that took a year and a half, and nobody had a problem with it. But yeah, man, Tim Tszyu, they said he was going to fight Bud Crawford. I guess he activated his WBO mandatory, and his manager said they were going to talk. And now it looks like Errol Spence is swooping in, But people are, why would you call Spence Tim Tszyu a duck for that? You don't think he's going to get?
Tim Tszyu ain't going to fight that dude.
He's not
I
gonna
don't
fight
think you
who?
understand.
Bud Crawford or Earl Spence?
Errol Spence is damaged goods, man. Nobody. There's no money in that fight.
I don't know. I think if you're gonna sell a Tim Tszyu Bud Crawford fight, why wouldn't you sell an Earl Spence fight? He's still got a name. He's still, if you're selling a Tim Tszyu versus Keith Thurman fight, you can definitely sell a Tim Tszyu and Earl Spence fight. I don't think there's any difference. There's no difference between Bud Crawford and Earl Spence business wise. Yeah, competition. I mean, you want to see Tim Tszyu versus Bud Crawford, but as far as business, I don't think anybody really sees a difference. In fact, Earl Spence is probably. I mean, Bud Crawford is probably even less likely to get it because he's going to want a lot of money for that. That's what he said. That's why he was chasing Canelo Alvarez. But I think Errol Spence, I don't think it happens right away. I think they're going to marinate it. They're going to get Errol Spence a tune-up, and then he'll fight Tim Tszyu. It's a good way to keep getting him paid, and then they fight. Yeah, Tim sees the handicap and Spence. I mean, everybody would. But yeah, Errol Spence. Look, man, what makes sense is they said he needs a tune-up or two. He just left his manager, so he needs a warm-up fight. So I wouldn't expect it to happen right away. Maybe you know what they'll probably do, man? They'll do some shady shit where they do a co-pay-per-view or do some kind of co-promotion where they try to build up the fight on Amazon Prime, get a 6 months, a year worth of fights, and then they meet up in a Prime pay-per-view match. So I don't know.
Yeah.
And
what
I speculated, yeah, it's not gonna happen, man. That's the thing with boxing, man. Look, you're not gonna get none of these fights. I don't know why people expect these fights to happen. If Fury and AJ never fought, what makes you think all these other guys are going to fight?
Well,
Tio and Haney not fighting.
And that's the reason why, everybody should stream this shit instead of buying.
Well, that's why.
Then you got guys in this fucking circle saying you need to buy all the pay-per-views. Like, man, I'm gonna buy whatever the fuck I feel like buying. I'm not about to put money in these guys' pockets.
Well, that's the thing, though. Are you going to buy Munguia and Canelo?
Man, I'm stream. Hey, no, everybody that's on this stream that shit, man. Don't pay for some bullshit. Stream that shit.
How is that bullshit? That's a great fight. See, this is what I'm talking about, man. Like,
no, it's not.
You can't.
No,
it is. It's a great fight.
Fundora and Tim Tszyu should be on Amazon Prime for free, man.
Yeah,
I mean, already paying the subscription.
I'm not telling. No, I wouldn't with a straight face tell my friends.
So wait. It's like this. If it was $25, I can understand. $80 for a fucking for a D-level pay-per-view. Come on, bro.
Who? Canelo or Tim Tszyu?
Tim Tszyu and what's the school thing?
I'm not telling people to buy that. Yeah, no, I agree on that. I agree.
Now, Canelo, and I mean, if you want to buy the Canelo and Munguia, that's on you. You know what I'm saying? If you think Munguia really has a chance against Canelo, and I'm gonna say this too about the Mexican boxing fan, man. They get pimped out, and they love getting pimped out all the time, bro. They don't get it. They'll never get it. I mean, I guess there's like maybe one or two guys on YouTube that that understands.
That's kind of a loaded statement there, don't you think? To say that the Mexican fans don't get it.
Nope.
Well, it's either stated or blatantly biased or something perceived as racial. Because I can say
it's not.
Black fans
no, it's
don't
not.
Get it.
No,
well, I can say black fans don't get it.
Well, you know what? The same thing with them. Them motherfuckers, man. They it's like Floyd Mayweather's Jesus Christ, the God of the Bible. To them niggas too. I mean, what the fuck? I'm calling.
Okay, just as long as it works both ways. If we can talk about Mexicans, we can talk about blacks, and we can talk about whites.
Everybody. We could talk about everybody.
I'm just because I don't know your race. I don't know your race or nationality.
We can talk about talk about every moronic fan that's out.
I don't want to talk about somebody and they get offended. You know what I'm saying? Because I am Latino, I am Mexican American. So when you say that, not only is it a loaded statement, but then it's like, okay, well, you're calling me like a don't know fan. So it's like I'm gonna take that as offensive.
Well,
so I don't know your race. What's your race? I don't know what your race and gender is. Well, I mean male, but you know how it is. But I don't know what your race is. What's your
Look,
race?
man. The point I'm saying is that guys.
What is your
Hey,
race?
man,
I mean, you want to bring
guys
race
like to
into it.
get
What is
pimped.
your race? What is your race, sir? Are you African American? I'm assuming. Are you white? Are you both? What is your race?
Bro. Why are you getting emotional? Why are you getting
I'm not. I'm
emotional?
just asking you a question. Just speak on it. Like you want to bring it in. I just want to know who I'm talking to so that we can be fair.
Oh man.
But I get what you're
No, I
saying.
mean,
No, I understand what you're saying. I just
no. The
want to be
point I'm
clear that
saying, look,
you're
no, I'm
opening a
being
can of worms so we could that you want to talk
no.
about it.
I'm just letting you know that certain fan base like getting pimped out, man. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, so what's your race? I'm assuming you're
Um,
white. Are you a Caucasian?
Yo, what
are
happened
you,
here, bro? What y'all talking
Well,
about?
tell him. Tell him. What do you go by? Who am I speaking to?
bro?
He said Mexican fan base is like an ignorant fan base. That's what he said.
No, I did not
Explain
say
that.
that.
You're yet. Well,
No, what I
then
said
say
was
what you said.
no. What I said was the Mexican fan base likes getting pimped out, and they fall
Oh,
for the
just
same
pimped out.
shit, getting
So be
pimped
the
out and
sucker, right?
falling for the same dumb shit every time. And not all right. And the point is, I'm going to those extremities because I'm tired of the fanboy bullshit in boxing. And if you want to listen, I'm black and Native American. Okay, if you want to understand my ethnicity. But the point is, you can say with the black fans too. The fuck, I'll say the same shit about them too. The motherfuckers fall for the same Floyd Mayweather bullshit, Tank Davis goofy shit, and they spew the same ignorant nonsense them damn selves, man. So the point I'm saying is that I'm tired of all these fanboys, man. That's the point I'm saying. And
Maybe
look,
I'm not telling you what to say, but maybe if you say it like that, because when I'm very fair, bro. But when you say like the Mexican people, like that's like a direct
no,
saying to them. Yeah,
no,
it kind of is,
no, it's
bro.
not. No, it's not. No, it's not. Because you know who else has said this? What's the name? Black and Brown. Black and Brown is Mexican himself. He said the same thing too. So
I can't speak on what another man says, brother. You
why
know.
I can't? Because if all I know is I see the same shit with all these fan bases. They all do the same shit, and this is the reason why boxing is where it's at, man. Nobody want to be real, man. Everybody want to be fake as fuck out here, man. So it's all good, man. So
So I understand what he's saying. He's saying Mexican fans get pimped because they don't really understand the sport of boxing. It could be
no,
true. I mean, there's a lot of
no,
casuals.
no, 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 no. I'm saying is that they get pimped out believing the same matchup with Canelo Alvarez, or they get matched up with a mismatch. They think that they really thought that Valdez had a chance against Shakur Stevenson type shit. That's what I'm talking about.
Well, Valdez
You
was a
know,
champion, but to say he didn't
Valdez
have a
ain't shit.
chance, then
He didn't have a
that
chance.
Well, hold on. Can't you say the same for Tank fans, bro?
Yep.
I mean,
Man,
what we
fuck
doing?
Tank, man.
What we doing here? What we doing here? I mean, like Tank
Tank is a
fans,
coward.
they believe every fight he got is the shit. Like, come on,
Tank
man.
is a media hype fighter, man.
I mean, I look at it like this: you're always gonna have certain fight. All fighters have those type of fans, bro. I call them damn, I forget the name of it, but I guess you could say fanboys. But you got certain fighters that got fans that they won't hold the fighter that they support accountable. I think a lot of fighters have those type of fans. You know what I mean? But not all Canelo fans are like that. There's a lot of Canelo fanboys. If that's what you're getting at, there's a lot of Canelo fanboys. There's a lot of Tank fanboys. There's even Haney fanboys. There's Tszyu fanboys. There's Crawford fanboys. There's Spence like basically when these fighters should be held accountable or criticized at least, they won't do it. They won't do it in fear of not being accepted. Hold on, somebody's on the panel. Let me block this screen. I don't think I've seen him before, so I need to be Hold on 1 second. Hello?
Yo, it's 150 Dream Team. Big say so, bro.
Okay, what's good?
Yeah,
Say,
yeah.
okay, yeah, my bad. Go ahead, brother. You good?
No, you good, bro. You good, bro. Nah, I came in as another name. But
Okay.
yeah, man, what's up, man? I hear y'all talking about Canelo, bro.
Yeah, go ahead. Say what you want to say.
Yeah, to me, man, in my opinion, I think Canelo's ducking, man. Yeah, in my opinion, man.
I'm gonna just grab something to be right back. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I think Canelo's ducking, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, man, like he literally said he needs 150 to 200 million to fight Benavidez. This guy moves up to fight Kovalev and Bivol, and then he's talking about, oh yeah, Benavidez only brings 25 pounds to the table, but he didn't say that when he was fighting those bigger dudes at a higher weight class. That shit doesn't make sense, bro. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand how did Munguia earn the fight? How did Munguia earn the fight? He just
Well, first of
went
all,
life.
I don't know why everybody's going on the 150. That's not what he said. Like there's nuances, there's context. He never said
He said
demands.
if he finds a promoter that will pay him 150 to 200 million, he will fight him tomorrow. That's what he said. That's exactly
No,
what
you
he
have
said.
to watch the entire interview. The entire interview. There's a lot of context to it.
Hey, I don't mean to interrupt, but I got the clip right here. I'll play it for you, and then it'll end, and then you guys can keep going. I actually got that. You're talking about when Canelo was speaking on David, and he says he brings nothing but 25 pounds and stuff like that. And I want
wait. Just before you play that, how long is it? Because a lot of people have been editing it. The full interview is like 7 minutes.
First off, let me make it clear. On StreamYard, Frank, I believe, because I've been doing this a while, and I also believe that it also depends on your plan. I upgraded to the premium plan, which gives me longer. But when you upload clips on StreamYard, I believe there's a limit. There's a limit. If you go anything over that, it'll prevent you. It won't even let you do it. But I believe it's like 2 and change. I can tell you how long this is. And if there's more, and by the way, when I come back, if there's another part that you want to touch on, I could just go into the interview itself. But I'm just going to play what I clipped. And this is it right here. Hold on 1 second. It is, how long is it? 2 minutes and 39 seconds. I think I got the maximum on here. So here's what he said.
Is this true? Let me know if this is true or if people are wrong. Is it true you offered $5 million for a Benavidez fight and then you guys didn't hear back?
No, nothing is true. I don't know
how that came. Yeah.
And
I think the dad said, "Oh, they offered us $5 million," and
no, never.
Okay.
Not that I know, and I know everything.
Question over here.
Okay, to piggyback off the offer, were you ever offered anything from Benavidez camp?
Nothing. And who is he for offering me the money?
Right.
Who is he?
It was said that it was 55.
Yeah, but who is he to offer me? And if he offered the amount he said, that amount I can make with anybody. So that's nothing.
You don't think that's the one of the biggest fights that can be made?
I don't. Maybe. Who knows? But he brings nothing to the table for me. He brings just 25 pounds more in the night. the fight on the night. That's it. But if some promoter, not him, because he's nothing to offer me anything.
Canelo, ¿cómo te sientes?
He's nothing to offer me money, I'm the one. So, but if one promoter who I work to, they come and say, I offer to you 150 to 200 million, I fight tomorrow.
Canelo,
that's the only reason I fight with him, because the only thing he brings to the table is 25 more pounds.
Canelo, I think this is a great fight that the Mexican fans are going to enjoy, but is there any pressure to make the fight? We're speaking about Benavidez because you got people like Mike Tyson and even pressure. Ryan Garcia. They said Ryan Garcia said if he was you, he would already fight Benavidez. Mike Tyson said you need to fight him. Is there any pressure in terms of people?
I don't need to fight anybody. I don't need to prove anybody anything, because I remember when this happened with Golovkin, and then it happened with this. So I don't need to prove anything with anybody. So this fight with Jaime Munguia, you need to respect it, because this fight is more important than other fights. So it is what it is. And you remember when you guys asking me for Golovkin and I fought with Golovkin and then Callum Smith and then Billy Joe Saunders and then Caleb Plant and then so never is enough for you guys. But I don't need to prove anything to anybody anymore.
That's exactly what I said. If he finds a promoter to pay him 250 to 150 million, he will fight him tomorrow. That's exactly what I said, bro.
That
That's
is
what I'm
not,
saying.
dude. That's way out of context. Number one, he doesn't speak English fluently. You can see it's broken. So he's trying to gather his words and speak, so people understand. Secondly, there's a part that's missing where he says, "No, this fight isn't as big. You guys are making this fight big. So you guys need to find somebody to make the fight." What promoter is he talking about? Like, if he said that, he would have named a name. Like, he said, if you can find somebody, what I understood, he's like, if you could find somebody to do it, then I'll do it tomorrow. That's what he said. I'll do it tomorrow.
Exactly. But what?
No,
But why? But why? But why?
What do you mean? But why?
Why does
He's
he
just
need
making
that much money to fight him? He's never made that much money in his career.
Dude, if I say I eat horses, does that mean I actually eat a horse? Or do we not understand nuances and context and like dissing? Like earlier in the interview, he had said, "Oh, this is a fight between two real Mexicans." He's taking shots. That's why he would say, "Who is that guy to offer me?" He's getting irritated. The context, the actual dialogue, you have to look at. He's getting irritated because everybody keeps asking him that, and he's getting irritated. Right? He's trying to sell the Munguia fight. He doesn't want to talk about that fight. So that's why he's like shutting the conversation down, saying, "Who is that guy to offer me?" And that's just true.
Canelo's been getting irritated every time Benavidez gets brought up. I've seen so many interviews of him saying shit about Benavidez, and he just brushes it off like he's nothing. He just says, "Oh, I'm the face of boxing. I can fight anyone. This and that." Like, bro, you ain't got to do all that, bro. Just give the dude his fucking shot. I'm not even high on Benavidez like that, but I feel like he deserves a shot. He beat Caleb Plant. That's a former champion. They have a similar opponent. Boo Boo ain't that great. I'll admit that. He's not great. I never thought he was great. But he beat Boo Boo, and that was a dude attached to Canelo's name for years. So I feel like he deserves the fight. Munguia don't deserve the fight. Munguia don't deserve the fight.
David's fights?
Why does Munguia deserve the fight? Why? No, I didn't buy the fight. I don't buy no fights.
Then you're not a David fan. You're just a Canelo hater.
I don't buy no fights.
This is what I'm talking about. This is exactly
how
why
am I Canelo hater?
I said
how
what
am I
I said.
Canelo hater?
Because you're not a David Benavidez fan. This is what we're talking about.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck about Benavidez,
two guys, you
bro.
said I just stream everything. They don't support shit.
Look, man. Hold on. Let me go.
Why are you asking for a fight?
Let me go, bro. Can you at least let me go, bro? Why are you so emotional, bro? Why the fuck are you so emotional, bro?
I'm dumbfounded that I'm speaking to people with this level of thinking.
So let me go. I just came on the fucking panel, bro. Can I at least explain myself? You keep cutting me off every fucking time I keep speaking, bro. As I was saying, right? Canelo Alvarez, right? How the fuck did Munguia earn the fight? He beat John Ryder. He went life and death with Derevianchenko. Old Derevianchenko at that. You know what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't have a belt. He hasn't won a belt since he beat Saddam Ali, bro. He does not deserve that fight, in my opinion. He does not deserve that fight. He hasn't beat no top guys at 168. David Benavidez' win over Plant is better than any of those dudes you guys are lining up. Berlanga, Munguia, any of these dudes that they're putting in front of Canelo.
Hey.
How the fuck does Benavidez did not deserve the fight? It makes no sense to me. None at all. This dude has been mandatory for almost 2 years. And you keep saying I'm a Canelo hater. It's not that. I'm a boxing fan. I want to see the style match.
You don't even support. You've never.
I think that's a great fight. It doesn't matter.
Watch this. Hey, watch this though. Somebody's sitting up here saying, "Oh, well, McGee is number one." Well, I don't know. I don't think you guys understand. These fucking rankings are fake as fuck, and they can fluctuate whoever the fuck they want to in the top 10, bro. Munguia just moved up from 160 to 168. What the fuck has he done at 168?
Nothing, BH. He hasn't done nothing. He hasn't done nothing, bro. And he's saying I'm a Canelo hater. I want to see the style matchup. I don't give a fuck who wins. That's a great fight. I'm not even saying the Munguia fight is a bad fight, but I'm just saying fight David first and then fight the Munguias, Crawford, Berlanga, whoever else you want to fight. David deserved a shot, man. Point blank. Period.
I will say this though, on the interview which I talked about the other day with what Canelo said, I said that I disagreed with a lot of it, but I did say there's one thing that I do agree, and I've been saying this is when he says it'll never end. I honestly believe that. I honestly believe if he fights David in September, I'm not saying there's no excuse for him not to fight him. I'm just telling you that in my opinion, if he fights David in September and knocks David the fuck out, people will still it'll transfer to fucking David Morrell. It'll transfer to the winner of Better Be Than Bivol. That's my opinion. I feel like that man does get a little bit unfair hate. And I think a little bit, not that I agree, but when I look at things, I almost think like he's in a position where he's like, you know what? Fuck these fucking people. This is what I think. I think like he's like, fuck these people. They don't care because if I do it anyway, they're gonna bring up another guy. They're gonna bring up another guy. They don't give me respect for what I did at 168, which is the truth, which is kind of fucking, I'm bamboozled by that shit. Where people say he cherry-picked champions at 168, that doesn't make any sense to me. But anyway, in his mind, he's probably like, these people don't give a fuck about me. If I beat this, I'm gonna bring up somebody else. I'm just saying that's how I look at it sometimes when I look at him. And then because when I actually do go to his record, and I count back 12 fights, 13 fights, he's got a lot of champions on there that were current champions. So this is where I got to keep it fair when it comes to Canelo. I want to see the fight, and I think it's bullshit when you say he brings nothing and then you ask for 150 million in the same sentence. I called that out. But I do agree with him when he says this shit will never end with me. Because I deal with this shit all the time when I talk about him.
All right, Shadow Ghost, can I say something?
Good.
No, I mean, I think you need to give him his credit at 168 and what he's accomplished, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's the issue, though, right? Because I can understand from that standpoint, looking at it, okay, he's never going to get his credit, but let's deal with this. Let's deal with this factoid. He was supposed to be fighting Errol Spence this May, right? After the Crawford fight. Now, this dude was all willing to fight Spence, right? But Crawford put an end to all that bullshit, right? Robert destroyed him. And then, you know, Crawford said that he will take any fight that he will with Canelo Alvarez. You know what Canelo Alvarez said? He said that if I fight Crawford, it's a win-lose situation.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lose-lose situation.
Mm-hmm.
But the point he's trying to make is, oh well, Crawford's so much smaller than him that he won't get his credit if he wins, and he'll get all the blame when he loses. Well, that's the case. Why the fuck were you going to fight Errol Spence then? Errol Spence is 147. They're both 147. They both are the same fucking size, man. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. I know what my eyes tell me. They were the same fucking size in that fucking ring when we saw that fight last year. See, when Canelo Alvarez says shit like that type of shit and the contradictory shit that he has, that makes me not respect what he has to say, man, about other people hating him. Well, shit, you're giving motherfuckers a reason too.
Well, first off, I remember hearing about Spence. I never remembered anything making that official that he was going to fight. But let's put that to the side, because when he said that about Crawford, let's not forget what had just taken place. Let's not forget. He originally had a contract to fight, I believe it was Jamal Charlo, right? And we know what happened with that. He was in and out the ring. He was having issues or whatever. His little brother stepped up. Mind you, both of them have been calling out Canelo for the longest. Jermell calling him cinnamon and all this other shit, right? Saying, come on, cinnamon, give me a shot. So finally, he steps up and fights him, right? They promoted as an undisputed versus undisputed. Let's not forget that when that press conference started, Canelo made it very clear that he was not really happy with that fight. He was not. He said, hey, this wasn't the fight that I picked, because there's a specific interview, and I could find it too, where he's like, I didn't pick this fight, insinuating that Jamal was, and then that was confirmed. That was confirmed when Jamal fought Jose Benavidez, and during the post press conference with Jamal and Jose Benavidez, Jamal says, yeah, I wasn't ready. My brother stepped in, and I'm not my brother, meaning like I want my shot, this and that, right? So Canelo's basically saying, look, I just fought the undisputed 154 pounder and got no fucking credit for that. Y'all want me to fight the 147 undisputed? That I think that's what he was alluding to. Because that is when he said that. That is around the time. Go ahead, y'all.
And the Charlo brothers ain't shit, man.
Yeah. Here's the thing, man. I respect Canelo for getting undisputed, right? In less than a year. You know what I'm saying? But like after he won the belts, he moved up, he fought Bivol, and then like you said, he was trying to fight the big Charlo, but instead he fought the little one because the big one wasn't ready. You know, but even still, that dude ain't no 168, man. You know what I'm saying? Like Canelo should be defending the belts at 168, fighting 168 pounders, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like
Those guys are not even fighting each other. What are we talking about?
yeah, but that's
David's supposed to fight.
them
He fought
dudes
a
trying to fight
160
for
pounder
belts, bro.
Andrade. He could have knocked out Plant. He's not who you think he is.
None of the guys
At
can
least
get in the
Munguia
mix.
beat Dervinchenko. He beat Ryder. He fought
Come on, bro.
168 pounder.
Dervinchenko's a
Look,
154
it's
guy.
apples to oranges.
He's a 154
It's
guy. Come
apples
on,
to
bro.
oranges. You want to use your argument?
Dervinchenko's a 160, bro. Come on, bro.
It is what it
He ain't
is,
no
man.
168.
He gave tough fights. He's a
He
tough
ain't no
fighter.
168. Yeah, he's a tough
David
dude,
beat
man.
a
He's a
blown
tough
up
dude.
Andrade. Look, man, who did David beat before Plant? What was this fight before him? Is it bigger now, or was it bigger then?
Nah,
Why don't they fight each other?
he
Why does he not fight
hasn't
Morel? Why
fought.
doesn't he
He
fight
hasn't fought.
Billy? Why doesn't he fight
Morel?
Shishkin? David.
Morel.
Why is
Bro,
David not
Morel's a
fighting tough
prospect.
competition?
Morel's a fucking prospect. Even Ronnie Shields said Morel's not ready.
So
I've been
then
hearing
who
a
is
lot of
David
people
supposed to
say that.
fight? What is he
I've
supposed
been hearing a lot of
so
people say that. Ronnie
why don't
Shields.
you put David
Yo,
on that
hey, Frank,
on the rack?
Frank,
Put David on
relax,
the
bro.
rack.
Frank, relax. You're doing
No,
too much,
look.
bro. You're doing
No,
too
because
much.
you spoke
You're
and now
doing
I'm
too
trying to
much.
speak
You're
and
not
you're just
keeping it real, bro.
interrupting me.
Ronnie
I am.
Shields.
If you let me speak, go ahead.
Morel's fucking trainer, Ronnie Shields, first off said he's not fucking ready. He said that out of his own fucking mouth. He said he's not ready. The dude's 9-0, bro. The dude's a fucking prospect. These dudes all say he's ducking Morel. No, the fuck he's not, bro. Ronnie Shields said he's not ready, bro. Stop saying that bullshit. That's not That's not true. That's not true at all, bro.
I'm supposed to just believe you?
Oh, but it's out there. It's interviews, bro. Ronnie Shields said out of his own fucking mouth. I ain't coming up here making no
Fight
bullshit.
another legit 168er.
I don't come up here and make narratives,
So
bro.
who's
I'm not
David
one of
fighting?
these
Some
clown ass boxing
36-year-old
fans.
retired guy? Like, what are we talking about? Why don't you guys hold him to the flame? He should be fighting Billy. He should be fighting another top 168 contender. Fight Berlanga. Like,
None
fight
of them
somebody.
dudes are getting in the mix. None of them getting in the mix. You know why? Because they can't fight for titles. Because Canelo has all the belts. None of the young
Have them
guys
fight
can
each
get in the
other.
mix. None of the young
fight
guys
each
can get in
other.
the mix.
So they're supposed to just sit there and wait and sit on their hands? Is that what you're telling them to do?
No, and that's why
what you're telling
Benavidez
David to
didn't
do?
wait. That's why Benavidez didn't wait. That's why he
So
didn't
he
wait.
goes up to fight. You know why he's moving up? Because he doesn't want to kill himself to make 168. Because he's working with Memo Heredia, a known drug cheat. That's another factor. See, you guys are not David Benavidez fans. You said you don't buy his fights. You don't support him. Okay, who was he before?
Bro, I just came up here and said I don't buy no fights. I don't buy no fights. So how about
then
that?
who are you to like? Why would you want talk about a fight you want that you're not gonna even support? Like that don't make no sense.
Because bro, why the fuck are we playing these greasy ass fucking millionaires? They're not even giving us the fucking fights we want. They're not even giving us the fights we want. Why the fuck am I gonna sit here and pay these dudes?
And that's why you're not gonna get the fight. Like,
why the
don't you
fuck
see
am
the
I gonna pay these
hypocrisy?
dudes? There's a bunch of fights. There's a bunch of fights I haven't paid for, and they've been made, bro. You're talking about this one fight, this one fucking fight. Guarantee you wouldn't even say that with any other fight. Guarantee you wouldn't say that with any other fight. I guarantee you wouldn't say that.
Hey, no, I'm gonna say this right.
But with Canelo, oh, Benavidez, oh yeah, you gotta pay for the fight. You wouldn't say that for no other matchup. I don't want to hear that shit, man.
Right? Yeah.
That's some bullshit, bro.
David's just another guy. He's another guy like Munguia. He's another guy like Billy. He's just another guy.
Ain't that a bitch? He's just another guy. He's just another guy.
He literally is just another guy.
He's just another guy, but he's been at 168 for how long? Get the fuck out of here, bro.
And he lost his title.
Munguia hasn't even won a belt at 168, Frank. Like, what are we talking about? I just told you he hasn't won a belt since Saddam Ali.
He just moved up.
Who did David beat for the title? Did he beat some killer for the title?
Anthony Durrell. He beat him for the title.
A washed up fighter. Okay. That's a real killer, right?
Well, wait a
So
second.
Jaime
Canelo
Munguia
just
beat about the
fought
same
a
type of
washed up Triple
opponent.
G. What are you talking about? Triple
We're
G's
Exactly.
not.
like in
We're
his
talking
fucking
about David
40s.
Exactly.
Benavidez.
He bring up
We're talking
Golovkin.
about David Benavidez.
Golovkin is 40 something years old, and Canelo fought him for the third time when he didn't need to.
And you
But
know,
I mean,
during
that's
that
that's
time,
the
we're
money.
talking about.
Hold on, wait a second. Hold on. That Golovkin fight, I believe, wasn't that where that was before? Correct me if I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, correct me. I'm asking because if I remember correctly, wasn't that Golovkin 3 fight under the Eddie Hearn deal or the DAZN deal that they had? Because I know that Triple G was a
That
part
third
of.
one.
Yeah, I think because if I remember, that was another fight where he was just obligating the contract. I'm not saying he didn't have a say in it. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying he made it clear, like, hey, because before he made it seem like he didn't, but then he kind of contradicted himself. I remember this because before he said he didn't want the fight. He didn't want to fight him a third time. Then when he got the contract and they threw him in there and during the press conference, he said, oh, we need this fight. But he could have just been saying that for the press conference. As far as the people and as far as him being Munguia being a 160 pounder and I've already expressed my concern with a lot of these guys. It's not just Munguia, it's Berlanga too. This is why people get on me when I say Berlanga. I don't give a fuck if he's Puerto Rican. I don't think he deserves to fight Canelo. That's plain and simple.
I agree, bro.
When it comes to David, I will say this though. I've always been trying to keep it transparent as I can. And I look at it like this. If I see that you're lying about something, I ask myself, what else are you lying about? I know that it came out when Canelo did do that little interview. He even put something out there that made him look bad. Okay. It made him look bad. I mean, he could have simply lied and said, oh no, I did offer him $5 million. So that's why I kind of believe him during that interview, which means if that's true, that means that Samson Lukowitz never offered $150 million, right? Because Canelo says, nah, we never did. I didn't even offer him $5 million. So that means that they lied about that. Also, the dude he's fighting up at 175, what's his name again? I never get his fucking name right. The dude that David's going to be fighting. He said that
Alexander Gosnick. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that guy. Right. Remember, let's not forget that when he was doing an interview, when Benavidez Sr. was doing an interview with Ness on the Boxing Voice, Ness was like, bro, that's an Eddie Reynoso. Like, you just told us that you haven't talked to Canelo's camp, and yet you're fighting an Eddie Reynoso fighter. And David Benavidez's father goes, oh, I didn't. It's the first time I'm hearing about this now. And the reason why people might say, well, what the fuck does that matter? I'm going to tell you why it matters to me. It matters to me because it's like, this fight is a fight that everybody wants to see. I keep going back to it. I feel like the more it marinates, it's bad for boxing. That's just me. But it's a fight that I want to see, and they know that we want to see it. And you are portraying to the public that Canelo's running from you and all this other shit. And my whole thing is like, then why would you even lie about anything? Why are you lying about offering 150? Why are you lying about you didn't know this is? And if you're lying about that, that makes me think you're lying about other shit. So that made me think about with that. That doesn't mean I agree with the whole fucking I don't want to fight him because his father's talking shit. Look, I just want to see the fucking fight. I don't care who's got to kiss whose ass, pause. I don't care about none of that. I just want to see these two dudes fight. I'm not here to shame Canelo because I feel like if you shame Canelo, in my opinion, you're shaming boxing because a lot of motherfuckers hasn't done even a fucking half of what he's done. But at the same time, what's the saying? Heavy who wears the crown, whatever. So you gotta, if you're not gonna fight David or you're not gonna defend your belts or whatever, which he's fighting Munguia. It is what it is. A lot of people do think that this fight's gonna happen in September. A lot of people do think. So I still am on the reserve side where I'm gonna let this shit go. I'm still gonna talk about it. But what I mean by I'm gonna let it go is I want to see if you don't fight him by September. There's nothing I can say. There's nothing to defend. He doesn't want to fight the man. And as far as the whole 150 million, I already said I disagree with that statement because just a sentence before you said he brings nothing. So if he brings nothing, why are you asking for 150 million? But at the same time, let's not act like David Benavidez can't been fucking transparent either, which makes me, why are you lying about anything? I don't understand. But it is. Go ahead, man.
Hey, Shadow Ben, I agree with you though. Marination kills the fight. It kills the sport, bro. You know what I'm saying? Look at Mayweather Pacquiao. Look at Crawford Spence, Bivol Beterbiev. All these fights, they've been over marinated, bro. You know what I'm saying? That shit kills the sport, man. That's what we don't need. I agree with that 100%.
At 150, I was talking about this the other day. I said, man, listen, bro, I was so mad by the time Spence and Crawford was announced, this man already had an accident, bro. Not only did he already have an accident, but the man had an accident, and then he had, what was it? He pulled out the Pacquiao fight because of what? Eye surgery or some shit? So the man that had an accident, the man that had eye surgery or LASIK surgery, whatever, and then he had another accident prior to the fight. So be it me, a minor one. That shit got me mad because I'm like, bro, we know damn well that's not the same Spence from a couple years ago. I'm not saying that I still picked Crawford to win because stylistically, I just feel like, you know, he could fight in both stances, and I feel like he's more of a better boxer puncher. And I feel like Spence only showed me with Mikey Garcia that he can maybe stay on the outside a little bit. But nonetheless, that doesn't matter. If that fight would have been made earlier, I feel like we would have had a way better fight. Pacquiao and Floyd. Pacquiao, you can't tell me that Pacquiao came into that fight with a hurt shoulder, and he wasn't the same. This is a Pacquiao that got knocked after he got knocked out by Marquez. He got knocked out earlier in his career, but this was a more recent knockout. They should have fought 5-6 years ago when both of them was just running through everybody. I don't want to see the same shit happen with Canelo and David, because not only do I think that it's bad, but I also know what's going to happen. I already foresee the fucking future. I already see what people are going to say. They're going to say that Canelo tried to outweight this man, so he can't make 168 or we already know that even if he does beat David, you know what some people are going to say, right? The people that's not going to give him credit, David was never that good. David, you guys know how this shit goes already. But that doesn't mean I don't want to see the fight. I want to see the fight, but I'm not going to shame Canelo either. But y'all have your own opinions. It is what it is.
I was just saying, man, in the chat, to me, man, when I scale Canelo as a Mexican, like, greats, like, to me, he's not better than a Morales, a Barrera, a Chavez, a Salvador. Like, those guys back then, bro, them dudes will fight anybody, bro. Like, Morales ain't saying no shit like that, bro. Trust me, bro. He not saying I need 200 million to fight a dude. Fucking Morales fought fucking Marcos Maidana out of his prime, bro, at 140 as a smaller man. He lost to David Diaz, but that fight was a robbery. He beat him, and he retired, and he fought some cans, but he came back and fought Marcos Maidana. No one told him to do that shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit like that, I just respect, bro, as a boxing fan. I respect that shit more. To me, Canelo, he just doesn't want to pass the torch, bro. You know, he doesn't really care about that type of shit. He just rather, you know, stay on top or not take a challenge and fight. You know what I'm saying? And not Marcos Maidana, Eric Morales arguably won that fight too. If any of y'all seen that fight,
Eric Morales and who? 150. Eric Morales.
Marcos Maidana.
Oh yeah, that was classic.
Yeah, bro. He arguably won that fight. He had one eye in that fight. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that, I just respect more, bro. You know, that's why I value those guys over Canelo. I'm not saying Canelo's not a great. He definitely is a great, but just to me, he ain't better than those dudes, man. Those dudes have better resumes. They're more skilled, eye test wise.
Hey, which one was the one? Which one was the fight where Pacquiao, man, because I remember all those. You had Pacquiao and Morales, right? You have Morales and Barrera. That shit reminds me. I remember that shit, bro. Those back and forths. Which one was the one where, was it Pacquiao? Which one was the one where the dude got dropped 3 times in the first round?
Oh, that was Marquez Pacquiao one.
Remember, it got dropped 3, and I thought the fight was over, and he came back and they fought to a draw. Or something. I remember
it was a draw. It was a draw. Yep.
Yeah, I'll never. Yeah. That shit's a classic, bro. That's a classic.
Yeah. See, Marquez, he's good too. You know, I wouldn't have him over Canelo. You know what I'm saying? I'm not mad at people say Canelo's better than him because I feel like his resume is good, but it ain't better than Canelo's. I feel like it's kind of similar because his best win is that Pacquiao win, the knockout. But like those other guys, Morales, Barrera, them dudes, they fought at more divisions, man. They fought a lot of guys, bro. And then Salvador and Chavez, they're not even close. I don't even have to bring those two up. You know what I'm saying? Those dudes are like absolute legends, Mexican legends, bro. You know, so.
Yeah, but to be fair, none of them were in Canelo Alvarez's position. Look, man, you can be a dreamer or you can be a realist. But you got to be a realist with these things. You know, you may not like the reality, but it's the reality. They were never in his position. He's in the position because he fought the fights. He got the accomplishments. Right, that's why Andre Ward said, "Oh, Floyd deserved it, but Canelo doesn't." What do you mean he earned it? Yeah, Floyd earned it, so did Canelo. You gotta be a realist when you talk about these guys. Well, Oscar did it, but he earned it, and they were chasing him.
Yeah, but those guys did better than Canelo, in my opinion. You know, like look at Morales. Morales, his win over Barrera and Manny Pacquiao, those two wins are better than any win on Canelo's resume. I argue that with any Canelo fan, and just those two. And Morales has a lot of great wins. You know what I'm saying? Like Ian Chi, people don't even know that dude. Korean Monster. He beat the Korean Monster. He beat Kevin Kelly. He beat Junior Jones. Junior Jones beat Barrera twice, bro. You know what I'm saying? And Morales knocked him out in 4 rounds. You know what I'm saying? Like Morales has good wins, bro. He really does. David Diaz, Pablo Cesar Cano. He beat Pablo Cesar Cano.
We were getting a lot of prime versus prime fights back then. I know that and prime versus prime champions, a lot of prime fights, which is why I don't like over marinated fights. Which is why I don't.
But again,
there's nothing wrong with marinating a fight, Frank.
Look,
that's
I know, but look,
that. I'm not saying
but
that.
for the sport, when a guy like Charlo and a guy like Plant can make $10 million, you don't think Canelo's good for the sport? You don't think fighters like that? Morales and Barrera never
good for the sport. You know I do.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like you can be a dreamer or be a realist and say, oh, Morales, Barrera. Well, that was because they're lower weight classes. They kind of have to fight more fights. Canelo's in a position that he can make you an instant millionaire. Of course they're rooting for him.
And
like,
yeah, but I respect that.
One thing before I go get my clothes. And I'm not naive either, Frank. Like I remember when Floyd said he retired, right? Or whatever. And then he came back and he fought Marquez. But if people remember, he brought a lighter man up. And I remember that interview where the guy was getting on Floyd and he's like, you're saying you're the best, this and that. You don't want to retire. And now you want to come back and you want to bring a man up from a lower weight class. And I remember Floyd going off on him. So let's not act like people haven't done this shit in the past. I do feel like Canelo gets a lot of unfair fucking treatment, but you know, that doesn't mean he's God and that he can't be criticized, bro, because I want to see the fight. But go ahead, man.
Yeah, you said Canelo's making dudes millionaires, but me as a boxing fan, I don't give a fuck about that, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's about who you fight, bro. It's about who you fight. Like
you're
Canelo
trying to compare when there's no comparison. That's the thing. You're comparing things that are
how is there no
uncomparable.
comparison? How there's no comparison? I'm talking about the best
totally
Mexican
different eras
legends.
and positions.
Yeah, but still, bro, it doesn't matter, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Those guys fought better competition, bro. I'm just saying those guys fought better competition than Canelo. You know what I'm saying? Like Canelo has some good wins. I'm not saying he doesn't, but overall, I favor those other Mexican legends over him, bro. You know what I'm saying? I've watched a bunch of their fights, and I know some of their resumes through and through. I just feel they're better than Canelo, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially that's what I'm saying. Morales, to me, he impressed me a lot as towards the end of his career because he fought a lot of fights that he didn't have to take. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I just respect that more, bro. Like I said, he fought Marcos Maidana. No one told him to fight Marcos Maidana, bro. Marcos Maidana was on a tear at that time, bro. And he fought with one eye, arguably one. Way out of his prime, old as fuck. It's way smaller. You know what I'm saying? He fought Danny Garcia. He didn't win, but even still, he fought Danny Garcia. He passed the torch. He's fought the young guys. Canelo's not even doing that. Granted, he's fighting Munguia, but still, David's sitting around. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I got a question for you guys, man. You know, let me ask you this. Let's take David out. Let's just say right now, let's set David aside, right? And I'm mainly asking 150 in his story. If we were to set David aside, do you think all the other criticism Canelo gets is valid, or you think it's a little bit unfair?
You saying if we take David out?
Right, yeah, because we already know what's going on right now. It's the whole he's not fighting David or whatever, right? But let's remember, before this whole David shit happened, remember he got the 168. He beat Callum Smith, and he beat Billy Joe, and he beat Caleb Plant. And you got people that'll say, well, who are these guys? Well, they were the champions, and they were undefeated, and they were in that division, and he cleared it the fuck out. And David had a chance to do that and lost his belt twice. This is before this whole David was chasing Canelo and shit, and he gets criticized for that. And then, you know, do you think that shit is fair? Because this is
that's not fair. That's not fair. No, that's not fair. I would say that's not fair because that's David's fault. David missed weight on the scales. He got stripped because of cocaine. That's not Canelo's fault. No, that's not.
Okay, so at least you're because some people won't even admit that, bro.
Nah, that's bullshit, bro. You can't blame that on Canelo. I agree with that. You cannot blame that on Canelo. But here's my thing: David did fuck up, but I'm just saying he's bouncing back, and now to me he look like he's changed. You know what I'm saying? He's actually trying to take this shit a little more serious, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I see David's training with fucking Rigondeaux. You know what I'm saying? Like he's trying to learn a lot of shit, bro. David's trying, bro. That's why I got to give him his credit. That's why I feel like Canelo should fight him now. You know what I'm saying?
Stop, Tycho, get the fuck out of here. Stop it with that, Tycho. Get out of here, bro. Protection player, bro. You know, Tycho, bro. When it comes to Canelo, man, you don't want to hear shit, my guy. I've already told you like 1,000 times I want to see the fight, bro. I'm not gonna shame the man though, bro. And Tycho, you know you my guy, but you unfairly criticize this man, bro. You unfairly criticize. You say the fucking champions are nobody. Come on, Tycho. Come on, bro. Think about that, man.
There's fantasy land and there's reality. Like, look what's gonna happen to Lomachenko, right? He's fighting Kambosos. He's coming off a loss. He's getting a shot at a title, right? Let's say he beats Kambosos, gets the title. What are you gonna do if you're Lomachenko, right? Because Canelo, they're saying it's at the tail end of his career, but so like Loma, right? Are you gonna come back and fight like Keyshawn Johnson for pennies, or are you gonna try to take the biggest money fight you can get? It just is what it is, man. Like that, there's reality and there's fantasy land. Like sounds like you guys don't really want to live in reality land. Like Loma is gonna come back and he's probably gonna fight Navarrete, or unless they just give him $5-6 million to fight Shakur. You know what I mean? But he's not fighting no Keyshawn or up and coming guy.
What's going on, guys?
Yeah, but
hold on, HOD. Hold on. Let HOD say something. Go ahead, HOD.
Yo, man, I had to, because Frank seems to be the only man on this panel with some business acumen to understand this shit. The reason Benavidez fight is not happening is because it was never offered, and for the reason it's never offered, the money is not there to make this fight. Canelo made $55 million just guaranteed base pay versus Plant. Plus that 60-70% share of the pay-per-views. That man nearly made about $100 million just on Plant alone. So when Canelo says, bring me 150 million, 200 million, and we make this fight, yeah, that's what he would have to be trying to be making, because he already made as much with Plant. Showtime lost their asses off with that fight. They made no money at all. That was just, hey, let's put our brand out there. That's all that fight was. That they didn't make any money. So Canelo, when he's saying what he's asking for, it's because the money is not there to make this fight. Because David Benavidez is not going to fight for no $5 million either.
I know he admitted that, but let me ask you this, HOD, because I got an issue with, listen, regardless what it is, it doesn't fucking sound right. If I say HOD don't bring shit to the table, he don't bring nothing but 25 pounds. So I need 150 million to fight. Motherfucker, you bring nothing to the table.
What he's saying is that's what you bring to the table is the $150 million. And I'll fight your ass. You bring 150 million, that's what you're bringing.
So why did you, and you know you're not going to get that. Why don't you just say, I don't
Who says he's not going to, he cannot get, so he's going to get more than he did with Plant?
Dog.
That's what if he made close to I'm almost certain $100 million in total, at least with Plant. How much you think he's gonna is this fight with Benavidez gonna sell?
But that's the thing though, HOD. Plant had the IBF title, so he had one more piece of the puzzle.
That title, but it doesn't. It's not. You're telling me that Plant is a bigger fight? You see, right now you're talking with feelings and not factual facts. Do you actually think that Plant brings more to the table, business-wise, than Benavidez?
Yeah, you're talking about the business, bro. I'm talking about him having the belt. Canelo is trying to become undisputed, bro. Fuck the money, bro. Fuck the money. You guys are so fixated on the money, bro.
Bro,
me as a boxing fan, I don't care about the money, bro.
Any fight.
I don't care about the money as a boxing fan.
Well, then that's your problem. Then you're gonna always be in your feelings, that understanding how shit works.
HOD. None of us boxing fans are gonna touch the money these guys are making.
I
so
why
the fuck are we gonna care about that? Why are we gonna care about that? Why are we gonna care about
that? This is a cop out. No, this is a diversion. HOD, this is a cop.
Let boxing historian go. Go ahead.
Let me say something. This is sounding like a diversionary tactic, and this is a cop out. Okay.
For a man who lives in his mama's basement, it sounds like that.
Oh shit! No, look at this dude getting emotional like a faggot.
No, man, because you're a piece of shit. You know how I roll with you. You're a piece of shit.
HLD, you're a pussy.
You're
Everybody
a
knows
bitch.
it.
You still living in your mama's basement at the dollar store, or you get a job yet?
HLD.
You get a job yet?
Look at you crying.
You get a job yet?
Crying, pussy.
Have you fixed your swingaroo kick yet that you got going over there?
What's up, pussy?
Bro. You learn the business.
Back in the shit
learn
out
the
your
business.
ass.
It's the way it is.
Learn what business? You don't know shit about the business,
I'm not gonna fight for less when I've made more fighting somebody who's a lesser opponent.
Getting emotional.
That's
and
just
shit
the way it is.
Over Canelo.
That's just the way it is.
Over money that he ain't never gonna see in his entire fucking life. Money that he ain't never gonna see in his entire fucking life.
The fight didn't happen until the money was there.
Keep it boss, HLD. Come on, bro.
Crawford and Spence fight did not happen, which I don't really care for either one of those guys. But that fight did not happen until the money was there. The money was not there, and the fight was not happening until the money was there.
Yeah,
pussy,
but
don't cut me
HLD,
off, man.
That was Caleb Plant complaining about the money. He was the one complaining about the money.
Yeah, and until the money was there, the fight wasn't gonna happen.
I know, but I didn't bring that energy. All I just said was this is a diversionary tactic, and this dude got
let people talk, bro. This ain't that tight. Nah, I ain't gonna have because then we get screaming and shit, and ain't nobody say nothing, bro. It'd be 5 minutes. And
I know, and I didn't even get it off. But the point is that
just let him say what he gotta say, HOD, and then just say what you gotta say, bro. It's that simple.
So at the end of the day, man, nobody gives a fuck about that damn about the purses and all this other shit. There's inconsistency in Canelo Alvarez's in his statements that he's made over the years, man. So Caleb Plant didn't make money, right? Apparently, and obviously, look. Even though Canelo has sold some of his damn pay-per-view, it was sold 600,000. A lot of them didn't even break even, So my thing is, so you're telling me a young undefeated guy who's being endorsed by everybody, you're telling me that fight can't make fucking money. At the end of the day, the only way he's trying to negotiate anything with these dudes is he's trying to get the most money he can out of this fight. And so if he's trying to do that, then that's one thing. But at the end of the day, man, it sounds like somebody's pricing themselves out of the fight. This dude's holding on to belts that he shouldn't even really be having because he's not gonna do his due diligence and fighting the mandatories, man. So at the end of the day,
the mandatory ran up to 175 before he became a mandatory. He was negotiating 2 weeks before March to fight this dude he's trying to fight in light heavyweight. So, who's not trying to fight a mandatory? Why didn't David Benavidez stay so that the WBC, like Marination Suleiman pointed out, I was going to make a mandatory, but he decided to negotiate 2 weeks before to go to light heavyweight.
So you're telling me before all, so let's say if that was true, let's just play the devil.
No, that's not that. No. That's what it is true.
So let's rewind a month, 2, 3, 4 months later. You're telling me that a fight couldn't have been made or then something?
Why didn't Mr. Al Heyman put the fight on the table? You guys don't get it. The fight is not, the money for this fight is not there yet. It is just not. Why didn't Al Heyman put it on the table? Because the money is not there for this fight. If Canelo's to make $35 million to fight the piece of shit ass Charlo, that's what was on the table. $35 million to fight that scrub.
Yeah, and you're telling me that Benavidez wouldn't bring more to the table.
Then my point is, and if Canelo already made $55 million base pay with Plant, plus 60-70% of the pay-per-view shares, plus the gate, that man, I'm sure he made over $100 million.
No. Oh my God! Grab a rebound.
So then, how is he going to fight for less for Benavidez, who's we know is going to sell more than Plant? Make it make sense. That's the reality. That's all you want him to fight for less, and who the hell here is going to go work for less? Who? I sure as hell ain't gonna do it.
How can Benavidez How that fight cannot sell? He's undefeated.
It will
He's a
sell.
He's a Mexican.
It will
He's a Mexican.
sell.
Come on, bro.
It will sell.
Come on, bro.
It will sell. See, now it will sell. But he also wants a bigger piece of the pie. That's the way it is. You're gonna work for less?
Because Canelo knows it's a risky style matchup. That's why, bro. It's not about the fucking money.
My man,
shit.
if I made $55 million
to fight Plant,
if I made $55 million base pay to fight Plant, plus, remember that they sold 800,000 pay-per-views. That's like close to 90 million, which Canelo took about 60% of the share at minimum. On top of the $20+ million gate. So you're gonna tell me I'm gonna fight for less? I mean, there's a reason why they didn't even offer it, because the money's not there for this fight.
HOD, you keep talking about the money he made against Plant. Canelo wasn't even talking about the money against Plant. He just wanted that fucking belt. I remember those negotiations.
They weren't talking about it. Let me go. $55 million.
Let me go.
Who's gonna talk about
let
it?
me go.
Who's
HOD,
gonna
let me
talk
go,
about
bro.
it?
Let me
Makes
go.
sense.
Let me go, HOD. Let's go one at a time, bro. I'm not trying to have a yelling battle. Like I was saying, bro. I remember the negotiations at that time. They couldn't even make the fight right away because Plant was complaining about the money. He wanted his 10 million. So Canelo's like, you know what? I'm about to fight fucking Bivol then. He was trying to play a little possum and shit so Plant could bite and actually get the money he wanted. That's what was going on, bro. Canelo was not talking about, yo, I need this amount of money to fight Plant. He just wanted that belt. That's all he cared about.
He got paid $55 million. What is he gonna bitch about? What are you talking about? Make it make sense. Who's gonna bitch about $55 million base pay to fight Plant? Are you?
But Plant, you keep forgetting. Plant had a title, bro. Plant had a title.
That
David
title
don't have
didn't
shit.
bring the fans who bought the fight, my man.
David don't have shit.
Wait, this shit don't even.
Canelo just wanted undisputed HLD.
My
David
man,
doesn't have
he
anything.
made almost over I know he made $100 million on that fight.
Oh my!
What is
God.
he gonna bitch about?
But with Benavidez, he says, "Oh, 200 million." He's never even made that much money in his career. He's never made that much money in his career.
Plant and Canelo sold 800,000 pay-per-views, how much bigger is the Benavidez fight gonna be? Does Al Heyman have at least $55 million to even offer Canelo to fight Benavidez? There's a reason why Al Heyman didn't offer him shit yet, because the fight is not there. It's as simple as that. I'm hearing about you guys confuse the competition side, the marinating. Look, we know that the Mayweather and Pacquiao fight was overly marinated based off the competition of that night. But when you sold $4.3 million, none of that shit matters. You think Mayweather and Pacquiao give a flying fuck how good that fight looked on TV aesthetically? Do you guys really think that?
No, right there, HOD. Hold on.
Nah, come on,
Hold on.
Do you guys think they care when they made over $300 million revenue on that fight?
HOD, hold on, bro. Hold on. Let me say something, bro. When you start saying shit like, to me, I'm a customer. All right, I'm a customer. I support boxing. It is what it is. You ain't gonna fucking tell me, you think they give a fuck about how the fight look? They better fucking care how they look. Cause I'm not paying or supporting to watch something where two motherfuckers where I know if they would have fought earlier, it'd have been both of them at least a way better fight. Come on, bro. That's
when you go to Canal Street.
So you're saying that their pockets override that you're okay with.
No, I'm not saying I'm okay. I'm just telling you what it is.
Hold on, let me finish, HOD, please, bro. Please, you already know. Are you? Because it sounds like you're saying, bro. I understand. There's a business. The business has to go. This is why I defend Canelo, because I know there's a business, bro. But don't sit here and fucking for you. If you think that way, that's fine. Ain't no fucking way I'm gonna say, oh well, because it's the business. It's okay for a fight not to be that
you
good.
Saying that. Okay. You're putting words in my mouth.
You just said that they.
No. That's what it is. When you go to Canal Street and you buy a fucking Gucci bag or some fucked up Rolex, whatever, and it comes out to be cheapy choppy, it doesn't work. And you're gonna go back to the Chinaman over there at the store, and they're gonna tell you what? No refunds, motherfucker. Bye. Because that's the way it is. They don't give a fuck. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I know that it overly
okay.
marinated. It was a trash fight for the customers. But are we getting a refund because we're bitching about it? They don't give a fuck. They
But
want to
that
make their
wasn't the,
money,
that
and that's
wasn't the
that.
point. But that's not the point of why that it was even brought up. Nobody brought up and said, "Oh, was the fight over marinated? Did we get a refund?"
I heard that all throughout the whole panel.
No.
You were saying it.
No.
It was overly marinated.
Okay, hold on, bro. Now I gotta put a mute on you, HLD. When you start trying to get louder than me, bro, we've been through this before, brother. When you start trying to out drown me, I don't give a fuck. I will mute you, bro, because HOD, you get this way where you try to you try to out, like it's almost like I say you talk, I talk. That's not what you do. You try to go high, you try to out sound me, bro, and you try to out sound people. Just chill for a second. I know what I said. I'm the one that started the live. I know what I said. I said, and I'll take you off mute. I said that I did not like certain fights being over marinated because I feel like, in my opinion, it wasn't good. It wasn't good for boxing because I feel like it would have been more competitive if they would have just fought years earlier. I'm not saying that that's not how the business goes. Obviously, that's how the business went, or they would have fought back then. I don't agree with that, though, because if Spence would have fought Crawford before the accident, I think it would have been a way more better fight. I think if Pacquiao would have fought Mayweather earlier and he didn't come in with a hurt shoulder, we would have had a way better fight. That ain't got nothing to do with a fucking refund. That ain't got nothing to do with none of that.
The fight is not going to happen until the money is on the table for it. Whether we like it or not, they're not fighting for competition. None of them are. You may have one or maybe two fighters out there that are truly fighting on legacy type of shit. But once you're making over $55 million, it's a total business. And you got to forget about it being competition. It's about dollars make sense. And they don't care. They don't care. It's as simple as that. Canelo's not going to be trying to make less money to fight David Benavidez than he did with Plant, knowing that it's even a much bigger fight, business-wise. Because if he sold 800,000 with Plant, how much is he going to sell with Benavidez?
Yo, I disagree with that, bro. Come on. So you telling me Pacquiao doesn't fight for legacy? Lomachenko, Usyk, these guys don't fight for legacy. Pacquiao is the oldest welterweight champion. You tell me he doesn't fight for legacy? Get the fuck out of here.
Like I said, one or two.
What the fuck you talking about?
One or two out of how many?
What do you mean one or two? There's a bunch of fighters. I was just talking about Barrera. I was just talking about Barrera and Morales. Them dudes fought
that dude
for
barely made
legacy,
$1 million in a fight as one of his biggest paydays, bro.
Morales said later on in his career that's when he started touching the money. But early on, he had to fight the fights he fought.
And that's all of them.
So what's wrong with that? But a real Boston fan will respect that shit, bro.
It's not about you don't respect it. We're talking about how the fights get made. That's why Frank was up here telling you guys are not living in reality how shit happens. It's not whether I like it or not. This is the way it is. Now, do I like it as a spectator? No. But I understand that.
That's the whole fucking point. Wait a second. That's the whole point. As a spectators, a lot of us don't like the shit. We don't care about none of that. We care about watching a good fight. So you're up here admitting that we're okay, that you understand why we feel like this. Then
did you pay? Did any of you guys pay?
Is that
did you guys? Did any of you guys pay for that Mayweather Pacquiao fight?
Yes.
Of course. Yes.
You're a pendejo.
Yeah, I see. Pay for that.
That's pendejo shit. Because I sure as hell didn't pay for that shit. Because I knew it was overly marinated. I knew these were two old fucks. I didn't pay for that shit. But now, if you guys are willing to pay for over-marinated shit, then don't be complaining about it.
I'm willing to pay for David and Canelo, too. Like, what
but if it becomes over-marinated, let's say it happens 4 years down the line.
HLD, did you pay for Crawford and Spence?
I was on the Mark Nash show, so I probably watched it over there. I've never seen a Tank Davis fight live. I haven't seen one.
See, I'm telling you, bro. When it comes to Canelo, that's the only time guys talk like this, like how you're talking, HOD. Only with Canelo. Only with Canelo
No, I'm
Alvarez.
just letting you know that no fight happens unless the money's on the table.
And look,
I'm waiting
and
for any
look,
of you guys to tell me, did Al Heyman offer to fight to Canelo?
what? Wait, what? Say it again.
Did Al Heyman offer to fight to Canelo?
Well, we don't know what the hell's been said.
No, we know it hasn't been offered.
We don't know what the hell's been said about.
And why hasn't it been offered? Because the money is not there yet. Maybe they're hoping with all this hoopla that they're doing here last minute in the last month now or so, it might stir up more of the pot for maybe September. We'll see.
Well, why does Canelo disrespect David in every interview? Even before this interview, when he said 25 pounds and 200 million.
Who's disrespecting whom?
He was saying no, hold on, let me say this. He was saying that he's the face of boxing. He could fight whoever he wants. David Benavidez only beat one champion, Anthony Durrell. Who is him? Don't compare him to Canelo. You know what I'm saying? Why was he saying shit like that? Look at Munguia. Munguia hasn't been champion since 154, bro. What are we talking about, man?
Then why did
that's what I'm saying?
Then why
that
did Al
doesn't make
Heyman
no
offer
sense
that?
to me.
Why did Al Heyman offer him that fight then?
For the money, we know that HOD.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
Hey, look, I gotta switch this subject, man, and I gotta get off soon, man. I'm gonna put it to you like this: it's okay for y'all to feel the way that you do, but I just don't understand why people get upset when other people feel a certain way. Some people are aggravated and they want to see the fight and they think Canelo ducking. Other people, they say it's business and they know the business and they know the contracts that nobody has ever seen. None of us were there, but they know the contracts. They know what's going on. Fine. You guys, fine. That's fine. I am under the notion of I just want to see the fucking fight. I don't care who's got to kiss whose ass or nothing, bro. I'm not going to shame Canelo. I don't need to shame Canelo. I remember when he carried boxing on his back. I don't really need to shame David because David's been proving himself. Two things can be fucking true in my eyes. I just want to see the fight. I'm not going to act like I know the fucking business like I sat there when Al was talking to Canelo. I ain't going to do none of that. I'm going to tell you how I feel and what I see. And what I see is people are getting aggravated. People are thinking that the man's ducking. If you don't think he's ducking, that's fine. I do not think he's afraid of the man at all. I do not think Canelo fears David. I don't. I think it does. Some of it does have to do with the shit talking, which I don't agree with that either. But nonetheless, that's a reality. That's something I agree with HOD when it comes to a reality. It's a reality. I may not agree with it, but it's a reality. And if it's a reality and you know that how you're conducting business is making Canelo push further away from you, I don't understand why the Benavidez camp would continue to do that.
The one thing that Canelo caps,
that makes me think you don't want to fight him.
The one thing that Canelo caps on is that he says, "Oh, I get to choose who I want to fight," and no, you don't. You get to accept the fights that they offer you because he's not the one putting up the money. So Al Heyman tells him, "I got this fighter for you," and he'll say yes or no for this amount. That's about it. He doesn't get to say. He doesn't go to Eddie Hearn and say, "I want this guy," or if I want to go to Bob Arum, I want this guy, and this is who you got. He doesn't have that power. He has the power that they will offer him what they have with the best amount of money maybe that they want to offer, and he decides does he want to take it or not. But he doesn't get to choose like he says.
So before we end this, let me ask you, HOD, you think somebody's gonna pay him $200 million to fight David Benavidez?
I think he's gonna leverage himself to get way over what he did for Plant. That I do know. He's gonna leverage himself to make more than he did with Plant.
As he should. You think somebody's going to pay him $200 million?
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be 200, but I know it's going to be more than Plant. And if he made, like I said, his base pay alone, this is just guaranteed $55 million. Plus he gets 60%. I think it's the average is 60% of the pay-per-view shares, which was like $88 million. So you go ahead and do the math on that alone, how much money he made with his base pay, plus the pay-per-view money, plus the gate.
I mean, the only one I can see is the Saudis.
No,
Turkey Al Sheikh. He's the only one I'll probably put up that type of money.
It's got to be, where. Well, yeah, I mean, obviously, but it's gonna be
the other one, HOD? What is the other? Wait, there is another possibility. They can do what's it called? The shit that Crawford did. It's called like a hedge fund. It's where
No, but that's
where investors come together and put the fight up.
You talking about when he went to BLK Prime? You talking about
Well,
that?
it's not. Yeah, it's not just that, but it's called like a hedge fund.
Yeah,
'Cause
it's a hedge fund, but
Al Heyman has used a hedge fund on other occasions as well.
I haven't heard of. I wouldn't
Yeah,
know
I could show you. I could show it to you.
that he used a hedge fund to sponsor a fight.
Yes, he
Yeah,
did.
it's a possibility as an investment, but
Yeah, I think the only guys that
I
do
don't
is
think no
Turkey
hedge
Al
fund.
Sheik.
I don't think no real. I think no hedge fund nowadays is dumb enough to think that boxing is a good investment. Period.
Even David reached out to that Turkey Al Sheik. David reached out to him. He said he wants him to get the hands on the fight and try to make the fight. David reached out to him.
No, well, David cowered out saying he doesn't want the fight on the zone. So I don't believe one shit about him.
Oh, come on. See, now you guys
He said
saying
it.
but here's the thing, HOD.
He said it.
Here's the thing. People were saying that, but Canelo went back to PBC.
Those are
Canelo went
his
back to
words
PBC.
out of David's mouth.
Canelo's a PBC fighter today, right now, HOD.
This
That's
is
my
before,
point. Canelo's not on his
they
own
went
right
on to this one fight deal, and that he was over there and talking to Eddie Hearn. Benavidez said, "Hell no, I will not fight on the zone. PBC has taken care of me very well, and that's that."
So that's
Take
have you
this
found
with
it?
I'm looking it up, but there's another thing I want to show. Take this for a grain of salt too. Remember, I couldn't fit the whole interview on there. I just fit one thing. Of course, Espinoza is not going to badmouth Canelo because they just came to an agreement, and he's your moneymaker at this point, even over Tank, even if it's for one fight. But this is what he had to say about the David fight, that he's very optimistic, and this is what he said.
It doesn't mean, if you look at his career, he doesn't run from people. He doesn't duck people, and that goes back 10 years, 12 years. He could have fought, he didn't have to fight Austin Trout. He didn't have to fight Lara. He didn't have to fight Mosley when he fought Mosley. These are all, tough fights, earliest point in his career. So to all of a sudden say, oh, now he's a ducker or runner, you're just going to ignore the last 12 years of his career? Like, no, he didn't wake up one day and said, look, I'm not going to take tough fights anymore. No, people, again, are trying to write the end of the story before the story has happened. And, okay, if he retires at some point way in the future and has not fought David Benavidez, then, people can complain. But until then, until that happens, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. But I wouldn't take this away and say he's never going to fight David Benavidez. I don't believe it. I still have faith that, he is very much considering that.
And that's why when people say that they think that the fight is going to happen in September, I still hold hope because, I know he's not going to say anything. Mind you, they just signed a contract. You're not going to say, then again, Bob Arum didn't give a fuck. He said he spent he could have bought a mansion in Beverly Hills on Crawford, and Crawford was still signed to him. So, Bob Arum don't care. But nonetheless, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt until September, man, and I don't understand this. And, I just don't understand the drastics, both sides of people, but then it's their opinion. But I feel like this, bro, I could want to see the fight and I don't have to shame Canelo. Like, I don't have to do that. Like, I don't get that. I think that there's a collective group of people in this community and in the boxing community itself, boxers, promoters, legends, Hall of Famers. I believe that there is a collective group effort to kind of shame Canelo to fight the guy. And I understand that people being aggravated, but when you try to shame the man that's accomplished that much and at one point held boxing on his back, it's not a good look, in my opinion. It's not.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Let's put it this. David Benavidez recently fought Plant, and who's the other guy he fought?
Boo.
Oh, and Boo.
Andre.
And Boo.
Andre.
All right. So Canelo fought all the champions at 168. So that means arguably he fought the best guys.
Mm-hmm.
Are there guys that are there guys or at least a guy at 168 that we know is better than Plant and better than Boo Boo? And why hasn't, and it's not Canelo, and why hasn't David Benavidez?
The only person I would say, and because some people don't give him credit, but I do because I know what I see, and that's David Morrell. I do think David Morrell is a threat. I do. I don't give a fuck what anybody say. I think he gives Benavidez problems. And I want to see it, but don't forget, HLD. At one point, his team did come out and say that they didn't think he was ready. I don't know about now, but they did say that at one point. They did come out and say that they didn't think he was ready to fight David at that time. But the one thing that I questioned David on, and we talked about this earlier, was I just find it odd how all this is going on, and then he just goes up to 175 to fight an Eddie Reynoso fighter. That's so.
That's what I'm saying,
That's
guys.
not weird to y'all. That's
why what you played. If look, a lot of people don't like Steven Espinoza, but if you just listen to what you played, it is so logical and rational. Everything he's saying, this story is not done yet. This story is still being played out yet.
Yeah.
You know, and for the business sake, let's say it doesn't happen because the money is not there. Does anybody talk shit all the time and diminish Mayweather for not fighting Thurman, who literally ducked him? He picked up the.
I don't try to shame anybody. I don't try to shame anybody.
Right, but I'm just saying. So out of all the fighters out there today, there's only one name, and everybody's up in an uproar. I like this fight that's coming up. I think it's gonna be a fun fight to watch. I'm not saying it's gonna be a fun fight to watch. Munguia and Kana. It's gonna be fun because you know that Munguia comes to war, whether he's gonna get knocked the fuck out or not. You know he's coming blazing with all he got. So it's gonna be a fun fight, and I'm gonna enjoy it for what that is. I'm gonna buy the fight. I don't have a problem with that because I think it's gonna be a fun fight.
The more that I think about it, bro. I'm keeping hopeful for September because, like I said, you just heard what Espinoza said, and also, come on now, bro. Nobody's like looking at that like, okay, so David and Canelo got all right. They got all these issues going on, and then David goes up. I don't think it's a coincidence. David is fighting an Eddie Reynoso fighter. That's all I'm saying. I just don't think it's a coincidence. That's all. I just think that's very telegraphed. It's almost like, let's get this fight out the way. Let him fight Munguia. Let us make this revenue, and then we'll make that fight happen.
Exactly.
That's what it looks like. There's no fucking way you didn't know that was Eddie Reynoso's fight.
Does anybody think that Al Heyman has the money that's gonna take for this Benavidez fight
by himself?
Right? Does anybody think he has the money for this fight?
No.
That's what I'm saying. So they went across the street and picked up somebody else's fighter to make a fight now in May. Why is that?
Remember HOD, if you remember the conspiracy that I had, right? I'd be trying to make these conspiracies and shit. But when I look at it, right, I'm like, wait a second. So the first pay-per-view, I said, I've never seen PBC. I've never seen PBC like openly, willingly work with people from other networks. In fact, all we've ever heard was, we got fighters over here. We don't need to make other promoters rich, right? Then all of a sudden, their first pay-per-view, they're like, Tszyu, go ahead. Yeah, we'll fight Tszyu because they know they don't gotta cover him, right? Even Tank, they were trying to get Tank. They were talking about Tank and what's his name, Connor Ben or whatever, right? But nonetheless, it's like they're willing to fight other people from other promotions. Look at Munguia now. They don't got to worry about that. Oscar's going to take care of that. And it's almost like they're saving money and recuperating money for a bigger fight down the line. That's what it looks like to me. I don't know.
It makes total sense.
It makes sense to me because how the hell did you not know that this guy is Eddie Reynoso? That right there, that was the thing that made me think that it could still happen in September. I'm hopeful.
So that bringing it back. Why aren't we getting Canelo versus Benavidez? Because the money is not on the table yet for this fight. For whatever reason it is, the money's not there.
And I want to make it clear because I've been saying this since day one. I don't care when Canelo fights, David. I don't care when it is. When he does, And if he wins, watch how many people still don't give that man respect. I'm telling you right now. Watch.
Well,
Watch.
I mean, win or lose, I think it's gonna.
So
It is what it is.
The reason why I say that is because as much as I don't agree with the diva fucking attitude, like, oh, he's talking shit, and as much as I don't agree with that, I understand Canelo when he says, you guys are just it's not gonna end. You think if I beat him, it's gonna end? That's 100%, bro. Because as much as criticism that he should get criticism for, there's a lot of criticism that I feel like he shouldn't get no criticism for. And I feel like if you should criticize him, there's a lot of other people we could criticize, and I feel like it's unfair. So
if Canelo gets in there with David, win, lose, or draw, and he still get criticized, that's bullshit, bro. That's flat out bullshit.
But 150, that's gonna happen, bro. You know.
No, Shadow Man. I agree with you. That's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Because he's the face of boxing. You know, he's at the top. So
Canelo fought Pitbull, and I think Pitbull beats the shit out of Benavidez at 175.
And 150.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, speaking about that, hold on one second. I remember 150. We were on a panel a long while back, and I remember when Canelo was gonna fight Bivol, and me and you were like, "Yo, that's a hard fucking fight."
I picked Bivol to win. I picked Bivol to win, bro.
Bivol to win, and so I mean, that's why I don't think he's scared of Dave, because I'm like, bro, he's fought everybody, bro. I think it's more of like the money and the aggravation, which, like I said, I think some of the diva shit I don't agree with. But then again, bro, I'm not the one in the ring. I'm not the one going in the ring. I'm not the one getting paid 35, 40 mil for a fight. I mean, if you keep paying me 35, 40 mil for a fight and you nagging me about somebody, you damn right I'm going to ask you for more money. I mean, that's just common sense.
That's what I was saying. But what is the diva about Canelo? Canelo's not on social media rocking it, bullshitting.
No,
he's not like Benavidez Senior, like a retard or Samson or.
That's what I mean, HOD. When he says like, the father's talking shit, like, I mean, come on, man. He's gonna talk.
No, I think he played it so well that day. He trolled the hell out of everybody, and everybody ate it up. I that's what I saw. That's what I saw. He trolled the shit out of everybody, and everybody ate it up. He became an antagonizer.
Yeah. Well, look,
are you excited for this weekend's fight, man?
Yes. Yeah. Matter of fact, I gotta end this live, but I'll ask you guys your opinion on this right now, I guess, because I was gonna talk about this, but before we get off, man, let me tell you something, bro. Fucking Rolly, man. I think Rolly has done. You can say what you want about Rolly. This man,
he's a success story, man.
He carried the pay-per-view, in my opinion, once again. He did it with Tank, and he did it here too. And Pitbull, bro. When I saw him today, because 8 days ago, they had like a Skype. I don't know if you've seen it, 150. They had like the Skype, whatever, interview or whatever, right? And
today was a press conference, right?
Today was the press conference, but 8 days ago, eight days ago, they had the one I was telling you about, HOD, when they were like on a Skype or whatever it was, right? They asked Pitbull, and mind you, this is around the time where the Gloves Off documentary had already came out, and Rolly already had the damn Chihuahua. He already was doing all this, right? And 8 days ago, they asked Pitbull, like, yo, like, do you really want to hurt this kid? Because, like, he disrespectful and everything. And in that, this was 8 days ago. He was like, nah. He's like, nah, man, this is business. I've been around a lot of people that's been a lot more annoying than him. But today, he looked frustrated. Today, he was like, nah, I'm tired of this motherfucker calling me a Chihuahua.
Pitbull Cruz?
Yeah, because Rolly came in with a necklace and he had this face on it right here. The face that was on. Remember the trunk, the face that and the Gloves Off. I have it right here. In the Gloves Off episode, you see Rolly open up a trunk with Rolly opens up the trunk with a lollipop in his mouth, and he starts bashing a pinata.
Yeah, right? I remember that.
And in the back of the trunk, you see a picture of Pitbull Cruz with these ears, right? He took that picture and made a necklace of it and showed up with that necklace at the press conference, and that pissed Pitbull off. He didn't like it. But this is the picture that he showed up with. He showed up with this picture right here.
Fuck.
I'm not really a villain. I'm more of an anti-hero. A villain is doing evil things. Anti-hero, he's doing things for what's the best, right? Yeah, I'm not a...
Aw, what's wrong? You don't want to go inside the gym? It's good, come on. This Isak, she's a sweetheart. I felt like to get more in tune with this fight, I had to adopt a Chihuahua because I'm gonna, you know, to get to understand them a little bit more, you know, because, you know, I'm fighting a Chihuahua, you know. She's like a little afraid right now, you know, she's a little camera shy and stuff like this, you know, the same way Chihuahua Crew is gonna be on March 30th, you know. It's okay, Isak, calm down. Calm down.
Rhodes an asshole, bro.
Come on, who would? I mean, come on, yeah, I'll be pissed off. I'll be pissed off. I'll be pissed off. You know what I mean?
He's selling the fight, man. I give him that. He's selling the fight.
And look, 150 and HOD, y'all saw the picture on the back of the trunk with the ears like this, right? So he took that picture and put it on the damn necklace and showed up today. He's like, yeah, look, I got it right. I think that's what really got. Because like I said, 8 days ago, they did like the press conference.
He's trying to humiliate him, man.
They did it. Yeah, that's what I think it is, HOD. Like, because they did this already 8 days ago. He had already had the Chihuahua. He was already doing all this. And when they asked Pitbull Cruz right then and there, he was like, nah, I'm not mad at him. He's like, he's just trying to promote. But I think when he came with that necklace today, Pitbull was like, nah. He's like, he's talking too much shit. You know, like
that was an extra gear of talking shit.
That was like, yeah, that was just like the stab.
See,
like that mad now.
That's why Rolly should have. He should have done for the Tank fight. He should have brought in a midget. It made him look like Tank.
Bro, when he put the midget Tank in the ring, bro, that is classical, bro.
He should have showed up with that to the press conference. But I mean, you know, I didn't catch the press conference. You know, the one thing I am gonna say that I don't know if you got me second guessing because I had Pitbull Cruz winning. I didn't know that Rolly is now with Ishmael Salas. And so, for what that's worth, I mean, it definitely is. It's night and day from the other guy, right? So I mean, we'll see what you know. I mean,
And do you know what they said? Which is why I'm real interested. Do you know what they said when they said to I think it was on the Gloves Off, right? They said so Rolly's not with Bullet no more, and the guy was like, well, you got to remember, I was with Rolly before he was with Bullet, way before. And he's like, I'm not here to reinvent anything with Rolly. He's like, I'm not trying to have Rolly work on his, like, you know, change his defense or nothing. He's like, all I am doing is working on the fundamentals, and I want to make sure every punch he throws hurts.
Well, it's because Rolly is an athletic. He's an athletic dude. You know what I mean? He's athletic, and so. Maybe with Ishmael Salas we'll see a difference, man. You know, we'll see. I mean, we'll see what's up. I still think that Pitbull Cruz would be favored. I would think so, but
I don't. I mean, I don't know, man. It's hard for me to see two punchers like that go the distance. I just don't see it, man. I mean,
that fight's not going the distance. I don't think so either. Nah, I got Pitbull though, man. I just think Pitbull's a little more skilled.
Hey, let's not get it fucked up though. Rolly can hit. Rolly can punch, bro. Rolly can
punch. Rolly definitely got power.
Rolly can fucking hurt you, man. Tank said it out of his own mouth, bro. And you know, Tank don't even like Rolly, really. I mean, he couldn't stand Rolly in either press conference. The one that was canceled because of the women allegations, and the second one, he couldn't stand Rolly. And when he did an interview and they asked him who's the hardest puncher who he ever faced, he clearly said hands down Rolly. And the guy was like, but Rolly didn't even catch you that much. He's like, I felt it. He's like, I felt it when he blocked. I felt his punches. Like he could punch. So hey, listen, but Pitbull got a chin. And when he fought Tank, he had that high guard and he was blocking a lot of those uppercuts. In fact, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't Tank hurt his hand from throwing an uppercut and Pitbull blocking it? And I think that's when he hurt.
I think he hit him in. I don't know if it was his elbow or something like that, and he fucked up his arm. But
so I mean, it's a very interesting fight, bro. Both of them throw punches like with full force. Both of them try to hurt you. Both of them don't run. And all I'm saying is, I'm picking Pitbull only because I feel like I feel like he's the smaller fighter, and I think he's got better defense. But then again,
people didn't look that good in his last fight.
I was about to say he did it, but neither has Rolly in the past couple of fights. And I'm gonna say this though, Rolly
was fighting the
got
GOAT Barroso, man.
bro. Both of them got a puncher's chance. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Rolly's athletic, but he lacks the fight IQ, man. You know what I'm saying? That's why I feel like Cruz will take it. You know, but nah, you're right. Shadow goes. Rolly definitely could hit because the way Tank fought in that fight, I knew he knew Rolly's power was legit. I could tell the way he fought that fight.
Yeah,
he barely threw. He was moving around.
Yeah,
he did not want to commit.
He was moving a lot more than when he fought Barrios. I know that. Like he was like, like Barrios was throwing punches, but like Tank was more like just standing there trying to he was throwing. When he fought Rolly, you could tell he was thinking.
I don't want to get knocked out by this motherfucker.
By this motherfucker, bro.
The fight I'm most excited about this weekend, to be honest with you, man, is Yocasta Valle versus Estrada. That's the fight that I'm looking forward to this weekend. Yep. That's my fight. That's just I'm so zoned in for that fight, and I got Yocasta Valle, man, beating Estrada.
Let me pull up the fight card.
I got Estrada split decision. Then she wins a split decision.
I wouldn't be surprised by that, but I got Yocasta. I'm going for Yocasta.
I'm going for Estrada.
She's dialed in to me. She is dialed in.
She definitely a dog. I'll tell you that. What was the fight that she fought? What was the girl's name? Was Ortiz? I think it was. Wait, let me look it up.
Bro, man, she looks sexy as fuck today too. I saw at the weigh-in, Yocasta Valle, bro. How does a 105-pounder look like you got some buns, bro?
Yeah, I seen that.
You know what I mean? How does a 105-pounder got some buns?
Bro, a lot of these female fighters like that. Like you see them on fight night, and because they don't got no makeup on, they got like the hair pulled back or whatever. But let you catch them on like the following Monday or some shit. They looking like, damn, I ain't see all that when you was fighting. Hold on.
I've always said, bro. I mean, even though size is nice on that ass, but it's not about the size. It's just the way how plumpy and how it pops. But she was looking nice today.
Dora versus Tszyu. Full card.
But I think that Estrada is way too emotional, man. I think she's put so much undue pressure on herself. The way she's been talking.
Complete the card right here. Let me share the screen real quick. So right here is what we have. So we got. Okay, we got Laura versus Safara. We got.
Oh yeah, Laura's fighting Michael Zarafa. Yeah.
Yep. And Laura, look, man, Laura now that he's later on in age and he doesn't have time for all that movement. He sits down on all his punches. Brian Mendoza.
Yeah, I think Laura still wins that fight. Shadow goes. To be honest, I don't really rate that Zarafa. I don't think he's that good.
And look, and the Elijah Garcia and Kyron Davis is not a bad fight. Kyron Davis showed a lot of heart when he fought David Benavidez. And mind you, I think he took that David Benavidez fight on short notice, if I believe.
Yeah, he did. He did.
He did, right? He did. He had a lot of heart, bro. And it wasn't just heart. It wasn't like he was just throwing stupid punches. He was fighting back. He was fighting. I'm trying to find the whole undercard.
The other fight that I'm really tuning into is Murataya. Because of the implications.
That's got to be on the prelims, right?
Right. That's good. I think it's on the.
I'm trying to find the.
And the reason is if he comes out clean, from this fight, we could expect him to be Shakur Stevenson's next opponent for July 6th.
I have to ask this question. That dude hits extremely hard. I think he hits harder than
De Los Santos.
I think he hits harder than De Los Santos. So if Shakur takes that fight, I'm gonna give him a lot of respect for that.
Garcia, the team Garcia, Robert Garcia has been calling for it. Murataya is not a social media type of kid. He's not on there. You don't see him anywhere. But
prelims.
Robert Garcia is like we're as soon as this fight is over, we're here for the smoke. He already.
I like Ray Murataya, but I don't think he's ready for that, man.
I
You
think
know,
I think I think if it, we'll see this, we'll see tomorrow night.
he hasn't even fought 12 rounds yet. This next fight is a 10 round. You know, like I don't think
Okay,
he's ready for that fight.
hold on.
I think he's still building.
That's the
But he
prelim.
is good though. He is good.
They Robert Garcia's got no issue with it. Well, we'll see how it comes out. See, we got to see how he comes out on his next fight. If he cleans this dude out, 5 rounds clean, then I say bring him on.
Bro, I literally cannot find the prelim. Does anybody know where to find the prelims card, bro? What the fuck, man?
Top rank.
Hold on.
All I know is I can only remember is Murataya's on it, Yocasta and Valdez. That's all I remember.
Okay, so the Oscar Valdez and Liam. Let me just put it like this. Let me go like this. Let me go Valdez.
This Valdez fight is it's gonna tell us what's left in the tank. I think.
Yeah, I agree.
Is it gonna be the what does he got left?
Hey man, I'm always gonna go for Oscar Valdez. He's
a dog, man.
He's a straight up dude too, bro. He's like straight up, man. Like he doesn't really talk that much shit. You know, he's like, you know, he just leaves it all in the ring, bro. Let me see right here. Okay, here we go. We got it right here. Here we go. Okay. Let me see if it's showing. Let me zoom up real quick.
I got Wilson for the upset, bro. To be honest with y'all.
Okay. Hadaya versus Nangini. I can't say that guy's name.
So Murataya is he on the no? He's I don't know.
The other guy.
He's co-main to the co-main, right? That's what it is.
I don't know the other guy's name though. I can't say it. Nangini. We got Estrada Valley. We got
that's what it is. So on ESPN, we're just gonna watch 2 fights. The other ones are gonna be prelims, maybe on ESPN too.
Yeah, that's right. There's only gonna be absolutely right. It's gonna be 2 fights. That's gonna be.
You're muted, Shadow. You're muted.
Hold on.
No, I can hear him. HOD.
Yeah. Okay.
Shadow, can you hear us?
Yeah.
I can hear him. Nah, you weren't muted. Shadow.
Me.
Yeah, I think it was you, HOD.
I think it's you, HOD.
Yeah,
copy, 1, 2, copy.
I hear you.
Yeah, we hear you.
Oh shit, I don't hear.
Oh yeah, he can't hear us. He can't hear us, Shadow. He can't hear us.
Okay, hold on. How about now, bro? Oh wait, it says you can't unmute your guest because they chose to mute themselves.
No, he can't hear us. Shadow.
Copy.
I hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yo.
Yeah, we can hear him. He can't hear us. He can't hear us.
I don't know why that's like that.
Yeah. He needs to leave and come back in. Yeah, he needs to leave and come back in.
Copy.
Yo, how about now?
Yeah, put him back in. Oh, he left.
Yeah, he left. Let me see. I'm about to end this anyway, though. Hey, man, I appreciate you coming on, man. Is there anything you want to say before you get off?
Oh no, I was just saying, shit. I appreciate you, Shadow. It's been a while, man. You know, I ain't been on your channel in a while, but I seen you was live, bro. There's not a lot of boxing talk nowadays, so I was like, fuck it, man. Let me join Shadow.
Anybody can come on here, bro. I don't care what view they have, and look, let me make this clear, man. I want to make this clear too, since you're on here. I don't care. It's fine. It's fine. HOD, you good, bro? Look, anyone can come on here, bro. I don't care what view they have, and I don't care what issue they have with somebody else. That shit ain't got nothing to do with me, bro. When people come on here, they talking boxing. So don't include me with if somebody got beef with somebody or whatever, that got nothing to do with me and them being here. They just here to talk. That's all. I don't care about none of that shit, bro.
Nah, I don't either, bro.
I don't care about none of that shit. I don't care about no problems anybody got with somebody. I don't care about none of that shit. So anyone could come here. Anyone can have their view. You know, you say what you want to say, respect people, bro, and you know, stay on your square. You know, Frank, he was here, he stood on his square. You know, he stood on the square. That's how he feels. That's how y'all feel. I always talk with Tycho because you know he feels a certain way about Canelo, but you know, like I said, I'm straight up with him too because I feel like he doesn't give him the respect he deserves. Like, I mean, I don't have to shame Canelo, bro, to say that I want to see him fight David. That's just me. That's just me.
No, Shadow. You was being fair, bro. You was being fair.
You know, because I feel like it's always the extreme 150. Like I don't know why, but it's the extreme when it comes to Canelo. Either motherfuckers hate him or motherfuckers give him a pass on everything. And I'm like, two things can be true. Like, how am I gonna bash a dude that went undisputed at 168? I remember when he had boxing on his back. Like, you know what I mean? And he's got a good resume. And he is the face of boxing, regardless whether you like him or not or whatever, you know. And at the same time, like, I think David has earned his shot. You know, I don't agree with the whole you don't bring nothing to the table, but then you ask for 150. But I'll say this, with everything that I'm seeing with the whole Espinoza, with what he said, and the fact that, you know, who David is fighting at 175, right? And I'm looking at all this and I'm like, you know, I think, bro, I think people are right when they say September. And I got to hope, because I'm a hope. But if nothing happens by September, there's really nothing I could say. There's nothing I could say. I mean, what am I going to say? What am I going to say? You know, but if he don't want to, but I'll tell you one thing, even if he doesn't fight David, I'm never going to take away what he's fucking done. That's just ridiculous. Like, you can't take away what somebody has done, bro.
No, of course.
If that's the case, they could have said that when Mayweather didn't want to fight Keith Thurman. They could have said that. Like, you can't take away what Floyd did. Like, you know. But anyway,
man.
I appreciate you being on here, man. All right.
Yeah, for sure, man. When you go live again, I'll come back for sure, bro.
All right, man. Thanks, bro. I appreciate it. I appreciate y'all for being here, man. And like I said, man, I really do appreciate y'all. Y'all the reason why I do this shit. Hey, good fight this weekend. I'm looking forward to Fundor and I'm looking forward to all the fights, but I am very interested, very, very interested in Rolly and Pitbull, bro. I don't know why, bro. I just want to see that fight, man, because I don't think neither one of them gonna run, man. It's somebody getting knocked out. And with that, bro, I'm out, man.